That's insane. Boom. What an ender. Oh, man, that was insane. Well, welcome to About That Ender, Schuyler Ricketts and Adam Wersky. Thank you guys for coming back.
Yeah.
So, real quick, last week's episode, we missed something. We had Daniel Miranda on from Cold Gravy. You guys are familiar with Mr. Daniel Miranda. He brought me a cool little thing, a little canvas, little Cold Gravy canvas, and we forgot to talk about it because we wanted to give a shout out to Narkiel. Do you guys know Narkiel? His name's Elliot. It's on Instagram. It's GNARKIEL, and he did this little canvas for Daniel Miranda. So just wanted to give him a little shout out because we forgot last week. Oops. And then the other thing is I wanted to address the fact that last time you guys came on, you were kind of a late addition, and I had somebody actually ask me like, hey, how come you guys didn't talk about Schuyler's part? And I wanted to just let everybody know that it was unplanned that you were on, so I wasn't quite prepared. After you left, I revisited your part and was like, we need to have you back on for sure, dude. Because your part is pretty amazing. So we got to...
That's kind of why we came up together in the first place. I knew if he came, he'd end up coming on, and he was involved for so much of everything. So.
Well, and it works out, too, because he stepped in because he filmed a majority of your part.
Exactly.
And now you're here because you filmed a majority of his part. Correct?
Yeah, no, you definitely have some clips in there for sure.
I filmed like a lot more of stuff that's not in that part since then, but I was either skating with him while he was doing it or behind the camera.
Yeah, much contribution for sure.
Fantastic. And we had a blast last time, so I was like, man, why don't you both come back out? All right, so Schuyler, how old are you?
I'm 32 years old now.
32. All right. Still young?
Yeah,
still plenty of time.
Feel fine, yeah.
When did you start skating?
I was 12.
12
years old, yeah.
And how'd it go down?
I really don't know how the hell my grandma out in Vermont got a CCS catalog to her house, but somehow it just was there, and I went through it. I was like, God damn, this is fucking tight. Like, I just thought of myself like getting a skateboard. I'm like, that sounds tight, you know? And then I was moving to California for the first time, and I was like, well, that makes sense. You know, I have a skateboard, and I don't have any friends, so I'll just have a skateboard and ride it. And I used to like just take my dog for a walk with it just for transportation, just something to fuck around with, you know? Mm-hmm. And then like my next door neighbor, he had a skateboard. And then like once I seen him ollie up a curb, it was like game over. Like
what?
Yeah, I was so hurt though because my first board was a Alien Workshop. He went to ollie up the curb and he scratched the graphic.
Oh.
I literally brought it inside. I was like, fuck, dude, my board's fucked now. Like I was so disappointed with my graphic. Like for years, I stayed like that. Like I didn't like to scratch my graphics.
So you just wanted to, let's just hook down something. I don't want to grind it.
Yeah, I slowly got over that, but to this day, it kind of bums me out when I have to fuck my graphic up.
So have you thought about skating with rails?
You know what? For like the first 2 years, I was all about the rails.
Yeah.
And then like I kind of thought like, man, I might be a poser with these rails. And then now it's like the cool thing to do now.
You can go back.
So I think I might go back, yeah.
Dude, rails are cool. Even back then, I thought that like as soon as I figured out why people were using them,
yeah,
I was like, oh, that's cool.
Well, also too, like when I had my rails back in the day, I'd always the kid that would go to the skate park or go anywhere. I'd try to ollie things or kickflip things, so I'd always break my board or crack it.
It gives some stability.
Yeah, you have rails, you can crack your board like 4 times, and that shit's cool.
Well,
like,
except if it's on the tail or nose.
Yeah,
and you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
as long as you don't have the skid pad on the tail.
Yeah,
that's where I think
it draws the line.
You would cross the line if you're like trying to skate some street shit and you had the little skid pad on your tail.
Yeah,
that might be the secret to like a couple tricks.
Yeah, the rails are dope though. I like the rails. They're cool.
Okay, so where are you from? Are you
originally born in Florida, and then my family's all from Vermont, and then just slowly worked my way to California with my mom.
So you lived in Vermont when you first started skating, right? Is that what you said?
No, it was when I moved back to California. But I got my skateboard in Vermont,
and then right away kind of moved over. So you never skated East Coast.
Yeah, like because I'd always spend like a good portion of the year in Vermont or Boston, and then I would go to California because my parents were split up.
Okay.
So I'd always be constantly back and forth. So I spent a good amount of time like skating in Vermont and Boston, but definitely more time in California for sure.
All right. So how's the skating out there?
Fucking dope. Just something about the ground and like the weather. It like just makes you feel different about skating. It's crazy. Like being in Vermont, like with your wheels rolling on the asphalt, it's like a different type of feeling than California asphalt. As dumb as it sounds, it's like
No, it doesn't sound dumb because they obviously, I mean, it's older.
it's crazy. I feel like you can do more shit. Like it's like it's not as scary or something. I don't know. Like, and then Boston too is the same way. Like the ground is different. Like a big handrail in Boston doesn't look as scary as one. I don't know. It's just some fucked up shit.
No, I mean, it makes sense, but I wonder if it's because everything's kind of like super old, so it's like a little bit more settled. It has a little bit more shine to it because it's
Maybe.
got more stuff that's been packed down on it.
Maybe like the regulations were different back then. They built everything different, but it's weird. Every time I go there, I always feel heavy for the first day.
Yeah.
And then I feel super light. And then when I come back to California, I feel super heavy. And it's like it takes you a while to get acclimated, but once you get acclimated to the East Coast, like I like it better, to be honest.
I'm not a big fan of the East, like the humidity.
I love it.
The
It's
humidity.
cool.
That
Yeah.
the places on the East Coast that are the humid spots.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it gets humid.
I can't handle it, dude. I went to Florida recently and was like, I'm never going back.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going back. I was there
Yeah.
for 4 days and I was just, oh my God, the humidity. I
Yeah.
never experienced
I like miss
anything.
it because like as a kid, I just remember it raining every night and being super humid and like there were swamps by my house and I lived in a trailer and like even though I only stayed there till I was 5, it's like the best memories of my life. Like I'm probably gonna reside in Florida when I get older, like retire out there and shit.
Yeah. All right. Well, to each his own. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess.
No state income tax.
Yeah, no, I like Florida.
Yeah, but I'll pay taxes to not have to deal with the humidity.
And the insects and the alligators and
I love that shit. It's
all
tight.
of it.
Yeah, dude, Florida scares me. There's so much shit there that.
Good spots though, good skaters.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah, I've never really been to like Miami. You been to Miami?
I've never been to Miami. No, I just
No?
stayed right in Orlando, right by Disney World.
Okay, I've been there once for like a day, but nothing. Never really explored.
Yeah.
Too fucking hot.
Yeah. it's wild down there.
All right, so let's move on. Let's talk about some sponsors. Let's go all the way back. So like, I mean, I'm sure you, as talented as you are, I'm sure you've had a few sponsors here and there. No, you're shaking your head. No. Uh-oh.
I don't know. I don't know. Like I literally, I mean, if you want to go into detail, I remember going to Merced Skate Park. Like
I do want to go into detail.
Okay, like Merced Skate Park. Like I don't know. I had to be like 15. Some guy gave me a board. I think I got 1 or 2.
Because you were just fucking ripping.
Yeah, I was like, I think they called them Central Skateboards or something. And then like I never heard from them again, so I wouldn't really count that. But I as a little kid for like that day, I'm like, oh my God, I got sponsored. You know what I mean? But no, after that, like I just kind of always stayed to myself. Like I just we were filming and everything for Go to Sleep, and then I gave Corey Duffel a video, and then he gave me he surprisingly called me up. It was at ASR down in San Diego. He called me up right away. He's like, dude, your part was sick, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm going to start giving you some boards. You want to meet up tonight? I met up with him that night with him and his girl, my girlfriend at the time. And then right away, he called me again when I got back into town. He's like, yeah, come out to Walnut Creek. And then before I knew it, I was like hanging out with the whole foundation team at the time. And he was like flowing me boards like crazy, like good amount of boards and shit. And he was talking real big, but I think a lot of it was just, you know, a little bit of talk that maybe he couldn't control or whatever, you know, like.
Yeah. Like with foundation.
Yeah, you know, like it definitely sounded all promising. He said he wanted to start some company at one point. He's like, oh, you'd be perfect for it. It's going to be like me, Nuge, Slash, like Richie Belton. Like he's just like naming all these names. I was like, holy shit, like this is going to be crazy, you know? And then like it just kind of never happened. So I was like, whatever.
Things move so fast in skating, and a lot of times people want to help out.
Yeah, people. I mean,
it's out of their control.
Yeah.
More than they can actually.
Yeah, well, especially a dude like Corey Duffel, because I mean, I don't know him super personally, but I have friends who do know him well.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, he's a rad dude. He's like,
Yeah.
you know, he's legit. But
Right now, I
and you
even
don't
think
know.
he has sponsors right now.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on his end. Like, because for me, I've done that before where I've had a quote unquote company, and I've talked to some dudes and be like, all right, dude, here's my plans.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Here's what we're going to be doing for the next 5 years if shit works out, and then shit doesn't work out.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, I mean, you never know. You know, you never know whose side of the story is correct or what happened. But still, regardless, it sucks to hear a big game and then to not.
Yeah, well, he was telling us too. Like, I stayed at Wersky's for a while in Anaheim, and he like sent me this like long ass email. It was like all in detail, like of all these people are going to be in this video and how he wanted it to be. He kind of wanted it. He said he wanted it to be like how Paul Rodriguez and PJ Ladd had their own video named after him. He wanted it something like that. He wanted it all to have one type of music. Rocky Erickson. throughout the whole video, and like he wanted me to have a part in it and shit. And like I went out with Wersky and filmed damn near a whole part, like out there killing myself every day, and then like never even got an email or a call saying like, oh, it's not happening. You know, it's like
a lost part too. There's like a ton of crazy footage.
And where is that?
it's just like on hard drive somewhere or some shit. Like
I think I have a private
Come on, Wersky.
video link on my YouTube that's like just not public.
yeah, but I was like
I
stressing
could
super
switch it
hard.
public
Like
and give it to you.
it was like at the time where I should have been starting to be an adult and like, you know, get my shit together. I'm like, no, sleep on couches and film still, like, which is tight. But it's just like, yeah. But no, I just got Flowed Foundation for like a long time. Like, they always hooked up with boards and shit. And
we'll put that footage in the description.
yeah,
All right.
And then they,
'cause I want to see it.
and then they, you know, put me in Cataclysmic Abyss. I had like the last 10 tricks, I think, in the friend section, and then What the Fuck video that they came out with after that. I had tricks in the friend section, so like they're definitely like plugging me on some footage and shit.
And then brings us up to current, or did that fall apart?
Kind of like just got to the point where I realized like these dudes are never gonna do anything. You know what I mean? Like, pretty much like he even called me and told me like, oh, Mike Sinclair had something on the 9 Club where he's talking about anyone who steps through the UC Davis gap should be pro or blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like it was to the point where, you know, I'm not hating on the guy or nothing like that because he hooked me up with boards, but it would be to the point where I would send him footage of when he did it. I'm like, and he was just like, nice. Like you could not get a response.
I think yeah, that's what it was.
Like you could not get.
It was just more of like he made it feel on his 9 Club like he lets people know where they stand. Like this is what you need to do to make it on the team, and this is where you stand, type thing.
Yeah.
It was kind of tough. I sent all your emails.
It was just like to the point where like
very vague sometimes, but it's like I think it's tough as the skater sometimes in the industry because you don't know what he's seeing. How many emails is he getting from people all the way around the world? So it's like
You also don't know what's going on in his personal life.
Yeah, but it's definitely weird. Like I think sometimes for people just cut people loose. You know, tell the skater to cut loose because I think he could have sent his footage elsewhere for a while, and people would have taken it, and it was like, you know, like.
Well, I even sent my footage.
Just kind of went nowhere.
Anthony, freaking my homie Anthony, was like giving out tapes to people without I didn't even know.
Yeah.
And then like even Sinclair like sent me a message like kind of sounding hurt, like, oh, I thought you were good. Like I thought you know what I mean? Like so at the same time it made me feel like, oh, like they're gonna fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to fuck with me, you know?
So okay, let me just play devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the situation. I've just heard the story. But let's say I'm Mike Sinclair.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I am planning for you. Like I've got a plan for you and I want to see you grow a little bit or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And then I hear that you're like shopping around.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
whatever, no. After that,
I'm just saying, because you don't know how he heard it.
I don't think he tripped too much because he kept hooking me up with boards and stuff. I just think that how I would handle, like if I was a team manager, how I would handle it and how they were handling it was just like completely different. So it just gets to the point.
It comes down to personality too. I think some people when they're emailing, they're more like social butterflies. And we're like, hey, what's up? Bring me on the trip. Blah blah blah. You know. So I think you're not as like.
Yeah, I don't do
that. Put me in the van,
I don't really do that.
Know?
Yeah.
So I think some people more like self-promotion, whereas where other people are more like someone grabs them and says, "I'm going to pull you into this spot." You know what I mean?
Well, the other thing too is most team managers, most companies will have, you obviously you have the team guys and the flow guys, but even within the team guys and the flow guys, the filmers and the team managers have the guys that they want, like their quote unquote A team. And then they've got the other guys who are maybe just as good as the A team, but maybe they don't really like their attitude, or this guy doesn't seem as motivated as this guy. So they're there and they're still getting stuff because they're good representatives for the company, but they're kind of on my back burner, and that's no fault to you. That's hit that guy's own personal whatever.
Yeah.
It could be something like that.
Yeah. It pretty much just got to the point where like I realized like, skateboarding is so personal to me. Like when we film Go to Sleep and everything, like I had no question about like my ability and how I wanted to come out and how I wanted to edit it and how I wanted to look. And then like I started realizing like, why am I spending so much time trying to get on this company? You know what I mean? When I'm not making any progress. And then at the same time, I'd see like certain video parts come out from like their A team riders that had video parts. And like, I'm not even trying to hate. I'm not even trying to be, whatever.
But you're on the same level.
I'm like, dude, like really? Like, you put that kickflip in your part. I have this, I have that. Like, I got the motivation. I'm doing it by myself. I'm making sure it's filmed better. And then like when I would even see how they would edit stuff, I'm like, damn, you'd use that song? That's whack. Like, you could have used this, you could have done that. And it just kind of got to the point where like, you know what? Like, I'd rather it just be a personal thing, because that's what it's always been. Like, trying to just get to a level just to be like, oh, I'm on a team. Like it, like the idea of that kind of just was like not interesting anymore. It was not something I desired to really want to fuck with anymore. And then like, it's just really clicky. You know what I mean? Like, it seemed extremely clicky. And I'm just not, I'm not like that. Like, I would way rather just like with
go to. You like the idea of exposure and being able to have like recognition and maybe what you do more than actually having to be.
Well, like when I first started skateboarding, I thought every skateboarder picked their own song. I thought every skateboarder picked their angles of how it was filmed. Yeah. And then I started realizing like, damn, it's not like that. Yeah. And it slowly started turning me off more and more. And then like, I'm like, damn, that's whack. You know what I mean? Like, I would way rather, I had more fun filming with these guys to go to sleep than like, I met up with the foundation team a couple times to film with them and stuff. And like one time I was skating, and I guess like I was like skating too fast behind Nuge or something. And he got like super butthurt at me and like didn't want to talk to me. And then like I tried to apologize, like, yeah, whatever. It's just like, I'm like, damn, like I didn't know skating was like that. Like, I didn't know it was like that. You know what I mean? It's just like such a shock to me that like, oh damn, this guy's getting upset because I'm trying hard. Like,
human beings are like that.
I've just never been like that. Like, whenever we film Go to Sleep, like I didn't give a fuck if I was like picking my board up and some dude was grinding down a rail right behind me. I'd be like, yeah, I get it. Like, I just never gave a fuck like that.
Well,
like,
you seem like a rare breed. Both of you guys seem like a rare breed, because while most skateboarders love skateboarding, they would love to be on a team and not have to pay for their stuff. And that is something that's conscious in their brain, is like, oh man, I want to do this. I want to get good because there's always a because with their skating, where for you guys, it really seems like you're like, fuck it, I just want to skate.
I think right now I got a handful of footage that's probably the best footage I've ever put out. I put it out in my I put it out in my 30s.
Central Valley, like our area, kind of conditions that, because like if you do something in our area, it doesn't really get out into like no one sees it, so for some, especially before social media, like stuff that we did, like it wasn't going to end up in 411. We didn't know anyone connected really to anything. So if you're jumping on a rail, it's not like for the exposure or for the sponsor, like that's like a dreamland, like that's like an unattainable thing. You're just doing that for you, you know what I mean? So even like through Go to Sleep, like we didn't have like sponsors or connections to it. Like there was not really an end game to like really where it was going to go. It was just more kind of like trick by trick
skateboarding
to make the part, and you kind of had what you like.
I think it was more of like a piece of art. Like we wanted to make a sick ass film where the credits were good, the opener was good, the filming was good, the energy was good. We were more concerned about the overall whole production of it. Whereas like most skateboarders are just like, I'm going to get my tricks, my filmer's going to film it, they're going to put it to whatever song they want, and then like I'm going to be on the team. Like that to me is more of a turnoff. Like it's not as creative, hands-on. Like,
well, I do always refer to skateboarding as an art form.
Yeah,
way less of a sport and more of an artistic expression of your power and agility.
Yeah, and then like I think too, like with Foundation, like they were just so mismanaged. Like, I mean, they had so many team riders that have gone and left. I mean, they had Matt Allen on there, Leo Romero. They had that Tommy Garola guy.
Well,
and then like you never hear from him again. Like,
okay, dude. So
like what happened? Like if you're in that position, you would think if you're in that position, you would just keep killing it. So either he stopped killing it, or the mismanagement.
Dude, you just said it like 2 minutes ago that you didn't realize how cliquey and how much politics.
Their friends didn't like their friends or some shit.
You don't know. That's the thing is, I've had a very minute experience. You know what I mean? I did it for several years, but the scale of what I did was fucking nothing compared to like the pro level drama shit. But the politics that is involved behind the scenes of running a team and a company and trying to get in bed with this person and get your products sold here, and it's fucking insane. And team riders, while you guys have a certain view on skateboarding, not everybody has that.
Yeah, and I remember too, like when I was a kid, you think, oh, you're gonna make money if you're on a team and make money,
Exactly. Yeah.
The Tommy Edo team came down, and I got like a pretty nice Cadillac and shit, and like even Merlino was like, damn, this is your car. Like, man, I would love to get one of these, one day. I'm like, damn, you're a pro skateboarder and you can't even afford to get like a car that you want. That's crazy. It's crazy to me. Like just, and like I'm sure like it was even to
seeing like Tony Hawk, and you grew up seeing like.
So I always tell people this, that the skaters that that the general population sees, all right. So the skaters that are quote unquote in the limelight or famous, that's 1%.
If that.
Of the 1%.
Yeah.
Okay, because 1% of skateboarders in the world are professional. That's I don't know the exact stat, but
I'll buy that.
Okay, I'd say 1%, maybe even less, but I'll give it to 1% are getting paid. We'll say that either in product or paycheck, either or. Okay, so we'll even include the AMs because they're getting product. So 1% is getting paid for skateboarding, and 1% of that 1% is on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many dudes are in Street League. What is it, like 9? There's like 9 guys or 10 dudes or something like that.
That's right now.
Yeah, that's right now. Next year it'll be different.
Their contracts renegotiated, like shoe companies and board and everything, and skateboarding. It's like just
okay. So put yourself in that
musical chairs.
Put yourself in one of their positions. Okay, let's put yourself in their position, and especially 5-10 years ago, before Street League, when there wasn't $1 million checks getting handed out, when you had to fight for a salary or board commissions. Okay, imagine you get on some company, and you're like, okay, they offered me X amount. But then other company comes by and says, dude, I'll give you Y. If, I'll give you X plus this if you come over here. And you got a family to feed.
If they were loyal to me and I was making it by, I would stick with whoever.
You're a different breed.
You know what I mean?
See, you're a way different breed. When you have a mortgage to pay and a family to pay, and you just got on with this whatever company, you're not loyal to them. You just got on with them. You're like, oh, okay, it's a job. Picture it. They look at it as a job. And would you leave McDonald's to go to Burger King just because McDonald's was treating you good? Fuck no. You'd go to Burger King if they paid you more.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like, like if like a company you want to get on is like a dream of yours as you were younger, it's like sometimes that matters more.
That's so rare though.
Like, because believe it or not, like Foundation was like the company that I really wanted to fuck with, like really hardcore. And then like when I started getting boards from them, I'm like, oh damn, like I'm gonna make this happen. It's like I'm not like even bitter by it or nothing, but I know that if they had given me the chance, I would have killed it.
Did you ever express that to them? Like straight up, like look at the TM and be like, dude, I fucking love this company. This is what I want, and how do I make it happen?
I didn't want to be like a dick rider and come out anyone with certain type of feelings to like like have pity for me or nothing. But I did say like, what do I got to do? Like, what do I got to do?
And what was their response?
Hang out with the team. Like just be buddy with them.
It's like that's what it takes.
It's like
damn, take it from a team. I've been a team manager for multiple different companies and environments.
Yeah.
And if there was a riff in my team, or if I had a rider who like didn't come around that often, bye.
Yeah. No, I understand where you're coming from. Like I just feel like, for example, when we filmed Go to Sleep, there's this kid named Hyro. He was at the skate park. He sucked. He was just like some skate park kid, and he wasn't good. And he's like, dude, I want to go filming with you guys. Can I go? I was like, fuck yeah, if you want to go, let's see what you got. And like, I pushed the fuck out of him, and he fucking stepped to the plate, like, I always had an open door in my heart to like anybody,
He
like,
learned how to speak English.
Like you would think like, okay, if you're fucking with somebody and you're giving them free boards, like that's time out of their life, that's effort out of their life. They're producing footage, like fuck with them then. And if you don't want to fuck with them, just say, yo, I don't want to fuck with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, don't leave.
Yeah, me. I don't know I don't know their side, so I can't really speak on it. But I can say that if they didn't like tell you, like, hey, bro, like you either need to hang out or fucking kick rocks.
If I manage a company, I wouldn't waste people's time. If I manage a company, I would do it better.
Skating too, it's probably different than a lot of other sports because style and aesthetic is such a like brand thing that it's like it's almost like you can't take someone from Girl and just put them on any company. You can't take someone from Foundation and necessarily put them on any company as interchangeably as like you can with like NFL or like other things. So I think part of it too is like you identify, like you feel like if you're on a team that you fit with and your footage fits with them and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then you kind of feel a loyalty to them. Plus all the footage that you do have, you would put out has all their boards because, so it's kind of, I felt like it was a conundrum for you. Like,
if I may interject, that most of the time when you see a guy who's like a quote unquote company man, he's surrounded by other company men in his footage. Like when he comes off that handrail, there's like 2 other dudes that are big names on that company that are sitting there with him sessioning. So you see that they're always together. You know what I mean? Like, so that is a factor for me, especially as a filmer, team manager. If I've got a guy who won't come. Even if he's sending me good footage, I'll keep him on because I can use his footage and I can use that exposure for my company. But if he doesn't want to like hang out with us and like go party with us after a session or what, it's hard to make that, like, bring that guy up because,
no, I feel it.
Because now these guys that I've been bonding with and skating with and in the trenches with, all of a sudden there's this quote unquote outsider that we don't know that I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to have the same status as you guys.
Yeah.
And then the guy who's been working hard and blowing off his friends to come skate and just, you know what I mean? Like immersing himself in the group is like, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like I could have just filmed with my buddy and I could have got the same shit. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's what's rad is we realized that early. That's why the thing we may go to sleep like we did is like a lot of kids, how do I get sponsored? And they're sending tapes to everyone. And we're just like, I think we realized like you can be completely disenfranchised from the industry and skating and still do it. Like in a lot of other sports, you can't. You got to be on a team. You got to be like, oh, my career failed. Like, you can't do it by yourself.
I just think at the same time too, though, like if like you're fucking with somebody like that too, and like you want them, you gotta like kind of like invite them too. You know, I'm not just kind of like,
oh yeah, for sure. I agree with you on
like,
that.
Hey guys, like hang out with me. I know you don't know me, but like, can I just come kick it with you? It's like, it's kind of lame too. You know, like
I'll be honest. If I would have found you while I was running my company, I would have been blowing you up.
Like a couple things.
Every other day, I'd have been like, "What up, dude? What are you doing?"
Well, a couple things too that like were like at the time, like when What the Fuck came out, like. And then you look into the video of like what the other people are doing. Like, of course, there's style and there's preference and this and that, but like trick wise, like even in the footage they did give me in the video, they didn't use even my better stuff. Like I frontside flipped that double set.
Well, you can't outshine the team.
Yeah, you know the Zinfandel double set or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, I frontside flipped that like
and backside flip
like
that.
perfect. And they wouldn't even put it. They didn't even put it in there.
Well,
you know what I mean.
You can't show up the team riders.
And then like I had like if how they edited all those other parts. If they had taken my footage seriously and edited it, it would have been better than a handful of the people in the video. You know what I mean? It's like to that point where it's just like, you know what? Like, fuck it. Like, if you're not going to recognize it, then I'm just like, at the time I probably could have kept getting boards, but it's like, fuck it. I'd rather go back to my roots and like pick out my own board, spend my own money.
You should have gone somewhere. You should have started researching a company that would appreciate a solo artist, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of got to the point where I started realizing like I don't care. It's more about like, and to be honest, like the footage I have now that I filmed in my 30s is better than anything I've done so far. Like I've kickflipped Rayleigh's Field double set, which is the biggest double set that I know of in Sacramento. Yeah. They have pros come through here all the time. They don't touch it. I got a bunch more footage.
I've only seen like 2 or 3 people maybe hit that.
Yeah, and I got a bunch more. I got
a
bunch more footage planned and stuff like that, and I've always been like on my game trying to stack footage, especially like a few years back and stuff before I hurt my knee. And like, I just felt personally like the amount of, through Sinclair was like the amount of like recognition or verbal communication that I was getting was just like, pretty much was like, I was just like, fuck it, dude. Like I would talk to the guy and he would sound like, oh, I want to send you boards. It's like, okay, well, you're going to send me boards till I'm 50. Like I don't have anything to prove. I don't need to do it. I'd rather just go out and skate and know at the end of my life that I'm producing shit I'm gonna be happy with. Like shit, I'll look back at as old man and be like, yeah, I did that. And that to me is more important. Like filming it right, editing it right is more important to me than like, oh, I'm making somebody else money. I have a name on my board, a board on my name or some shit. Like,
yeah. Thought about maybe starting your own.
That would be the goal. Yeah, I had like a few setbacks. I had like enough money stacked up, and then I got robbed. A couple years back.
Fuck.
Like seriously, like took everything I fucking had. Fucking losers. But pretty much, no, like I've kind of keep getting setbacks like that. But definitely, like in the future, I will have enough money to do something like that. And I definitely want to put together like more like a Baker feel, like a PJ Live Wonderful Horrible Life feel, where it's like the homies make a video and it's sick. You know what I mean? Rather than like, you know, a video where everyone throws their footage together, some guy edits it that has no clue, and it's like you lose the feeling. You know, it's like I want like a real skate video type of company. Like,
yeah, I think that would be very much well accepted. Especially like we just had Daniel Miranda on last week, and the Cold Gravy. You know that's the Bay Area.
Yeah, that shit to me is way like cooler, and I think real skaters
so
like
raw.
They respect that and they look at it better than like a company.
I think they crave that
more so now than ever.
Yeah, because we're so inundated with street league style.
Yeah,
it's just like
footage,
we were talking about. Like really, it's with a smaller company, you know if they fuck with you. And with a bigger company, you think they fuck with you. They're sending you your board, so you think, if I do something like these guys are doing in the magazine, they want their board to be under my feet for a reason. And then you do something that like is that caliber, and it's like they're not really fucking with it, and it's not their fault. They're this giant company.
Like even if the homie had said, "Damn, you're killing it,"
it's just why smaller companies
I can't fuck with you.
Well, no.
Like I would have appreciated that more than just like every time like doing good, keep killing it, doing good, nice.
And it's
nice.
not necessarily against the big company. It's just like that's why the smaller companies are better, because it's like
Yeah, but at the same time, smaller companies have smaller budgets.
Yeah.
So they're a lot of times with a smaller or middle range company, they may want to do some shit with you but can't afford it. They just can't afford to pay you.
Well, I even told Sinclair one time, because he said like they're having trouble with some money sending boards out. I was like, I'll loan you a couple G's. I'll loan you 10 G's. Like how many boards? They don't want that shit. I'm sure if they're hurting that bad,
if you're hurting, you don't want to go into debt. That's like.
Yeah, but I'm not really tripping on making the money back. I was just really trying to like help him out because I had the money to do it. And I don't know. I personally feel like if I were to run a business, I would just do it better. You know what I mean? Like
I think just do it.
Yeah, no, that will happen. That will happen. It would just take a little bit longer.
What would your company be? Like, would you sell boards? Would you like what would your company
definitely start off with soft goods? Like there's more profit in it. You know what I mean? Work your way up.
There's no profit in it.
You know, unless you're gonna start with like $1 million, couple $1 million, you know. But I wouldn't do it necessarily to make a huge profit. It would just be to do it. You know what I mean? As long as I was breaking even, but anything I put my mind to, I make profit on. Like I haven't worked a normal job in about 10 years, so I'm pretty good with like making money and staying afloat and stuff like
Hustler, bro.
Yeah, I got the grit in me, so
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's. You want to get into some of your part?
Yeah, sure.
I'm excited about this. This is a really good part. So I got a couple questions about the part. Let's see. There was a premiere for this one, right? Did we talk about the premiere?
Yeah, at Brennan Theaters.
Yeah. So how was the? Tell me how it was for you, because I know we heard it from Adam, but.
It was pretty dope, dude. Like I just knew that if we made the video, people would come, and like I didn't really like try really hard to advertise it. I think the homie Braden got it on K-Win or something like that, but I just knew people would come. I just knew it, and sure enough, like it just people were coming left and right, and we had the fire department almost came, or I think they did come because people were wrapped around the outside. They had to bring them inside. It was just like lines of people. Like anyone who's been there will contest to this. This really did happen like this. Pack the fuck up. We got the biggest theater in there. Probably sat 600 people. I don't know, something like that. Packed everyone in there. Homies were smoking J's in there. We had our own security. We fucking
did cafe upstairs.
I did it. Probably had 2 showings. They both sold out, and it was a riot. Like a lot of the little editing and stuff that I thought people maybe wouldn't pick up on, they laughed at it. They got it right away, and I was like, damn, this was done for at the time. Like I was very happy with how it was done.
Sick. Who did the editing on your part?
I did.
You did?
I did.
Sick.
I did all the editing and every camera angle at the time. I was as specific as I could be about how I wanted it, and I would say almost every trick I had planned to have it. And like at the time, like I was.
Wait. Sorry to cut you off. Let's go back. You said you picked every camera angle.
Yeah, like I would literally like yell at people and be like, they knew how I was. They're my homies and shit. But I'd be like, no, stand here, film it.
Oh, filmer's worst nightmare.
And then I would just be like yelling at him like, fucking, that's not how I fucking want it. Like,
well, okay, so I will say that you obviously know your angles because it looks good.
It could always be better, you know. But
I have some skaters that are like, hey, what do you think about filming it from over here? And you're like, no, dude, that's
terrible. For this one, I think part of it too was kind of leading it. Like it was a homie video, so
sometimes we didn't have the best lights and everything. It's making do with what you have.
The person knows that you know more. And most times. It's like, I think people are looking to you like, what do I do?
I get very like anal with things. Like if I start to do something, I'm like really like hypercritical. Like I see all the little pieces that how I want something to be, you know what I mean? And even though it doesn't come out right, you can always only try as much as you can, you know what I mean? But I definitely like.
Hey, you got the vision.
I got the vision. Yeah. That's like kind of what like the level I want to be on now is like hard filming with certain people because they want to film it how they want to film it or edit it how they want to edit it. But I'm hoping soon I'll be able to get into a nice groove with somebody. Like me and Wersky film super good together. Like he knows exactly when I say something exactly how I want it, and then when we go to edit it, he knows exactly what I'm trying to say.
Well, do you guys hang out on like a regular basis?
Not so much as we used to, but
I had a daughter. she's 15 months. So
well, I think it's because you hurt your knee. You fucked his knee up really bad, and then working in your knee.
Before that, I was around everybody
every day,
but
all the time.
Yeah,
having a kid will change that.
Yeah, I work full time, so I've been kind of sucked.
I'd have to wake him up like every time to go skate. He'd be passed out in your room.
So you guys hang out as much as you can now.
Yeah. Hopefully more, because he's talking about doing some heavy hitter tricks. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be on your board a little bit more to make that happen.
Yeah.
But we got a couple tricks planned that if he steps to it, I'll step to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if he wants to say it, but
I don't think we should say it.
I know for sure that I'll try it, and I'm like pretty sure I'll land it.
So remind me to tell me that after, because I don't want to ruin it.
As long as no one does it first.
That's why we're not going to say anything.
Yeah, people are already trying to be
hears it. They're going to be like, "Oh, I got that."
Yeah.
Try it and shit. All right. So right in the beginning of your part, so we're watching Schuyler Ricketts go to sleep. So
we took this from Edward Scissorhands too in the beginning, just the beginning part.
The door, the credits.
It's like one of my other favorite movies. I always thought it was pretty dope.
Yeah, so it's his part from the full length Go to Sleep. Yeah, we got a nice little the door opening from.
And I took this audio right here from Great Expectations. I think it's just one of the best love stories like ever made. So kind of was like feeling it at the time.
What we're watching is a bunch of bales. Now that one right there. So some bales and what looks like somebody trying to kick Schuyler out, and then a shove and maybe
no, I literally I landed on it first try and then rolled away second try, and then I was dating a stripper girlfriend at the time, and it was like the biggest double set I ever back 180'd at the time, and I told her, I'm like, if I land this one, go to California with me. She's like, I'm down. I just fucking stuck it and landed it, and then I rolled over there and punked that fool because he was being a bitch.
Oh, he wasn't even trying to kick you out?
No, he was. No, he was. He was like over on the cell phone like.
Oh, calling the
cops, and it's like fuck you, busybody.
And you had just landed it, so you were like,
yeah, no, I literally landed it, rolled up there, and just pushed him and called him a bitch or something like that. Said something to him.
That's hella funny.
Yeah, then like my girlfriend at the time, she was like hella hyped. She like ran in the car. I was just like laughing and shit. Like she got a kick out of it. It's tight.
All right, and then we have a few more roll ups, some board throwing.
Yeah, that was the first try I stuck it. And then
that back 180?
Yeah,
right
and the
there?
next time I landed it, that fucked my ankle up really bad.
Oh, and then we got like a gnarly roll.
That actually was like a really bad roll. It's like the new grip tape, new shoe roll. It's just
trying to kickflip a set and.
Was that the Reynolds?
All right, kids, when you bail on kickflips, move your foot to the left of the nose, not in front of the nose.
His front foot, does the classic catches in front of the board, and then the board hits his ankle, causing it to roll. And
I think it's when you go to step. I think it's when your mind thinks you're stepping over the nose, but then you catch it. Just like if you're walking on a curb and you accidentally miss a step, it's like, it just instantly fucking folds, Yeah. All bad.
Terrible.
Yeah, and I used this stuff too in the beginning because he's just talking about how like he's rich now and he did all this shit to be successful, and then like no one really even appreciates it. No one even cares because like I never really wanted to fuck with money too much, and it's just kind of like I don't know. Thought it was like a little insightful just to kind of put it there. Like no matter how successful you get, it don't really matter. You know what I mean?
No,
it doesn't. It's just about like how you feel about yourself.
Because nobody else really cares about you.
No, I don't give a fuck.
No. All right, and then right there we've got a nice, very intense board throw, screaming.
Yeah.
Are you only that intense when you're like struggling with a trick, or are you just all like?
Ever since I started skating, like I always tell myself, like no matter what, right here I'm gonna land it. Like put my life on it. Like I'll fucking die if I don't land this. So I just like try to take it seriously, even if I'm skating off a curb. I'm just like, no matter what.
And you like really mean it, huh?
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, no, I really take that shit seriously. So like at the time I was just like, fuck this shit, like fucking heated. Like I would definitely like. I think anger has been like my best thing. Like you just get mad and it's just like you're gonna fucking make it happen. Channel all that energy and just fucking make it positive.
So, I'm a little bit like that too. Like when I can't land something, I only get irritated though when it's something that I know I should be landing.
Yeah.
And I just can't. My body's just not doing it.
Yeah.
So, see, how do I formulate this? Basically, I'm trying to ask like how someone of your caliber, you know what I mean? Like what does it really take for you to get angry? Because if you're skating something smaller, does it take more? Do you kind of laugh?
I've kind of learned not to get so mad anymore now because like I went over 2 years without skating because I fucked my knee up really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like all I wanted to do was skate. So like anytime I'm on my skateboard, like I try not to have any bad days or like let it get to me because I'm like so thankful to even be able to skateboard at all.
Right.
So I think like the anger thing is kind of gone as more, but definitely back then, fucking if I couldn't kickflip right on flat ground, I wasn't having it. Like
I wasn't having it.
No.
You a board breaker? Would you
no.
Just
never.
Being on
never break my
sessions
boards
with you, I feel like
never.
He's always trying to do something that's like outside of his comfort zone and push it. So he has to get really intense. Like
it helps you stay from getting hurt.
Kurt Chart talked about how he no longer felt like a psychopath after he stopped skating, like it was just gone. Like I feel like when you're the type of skater that pushes yourself into like that realm to like psych yourself into it or what it like, you know, to like get yourself, you're kind of, that's a tense like.
Oh, it's a special kind of intensity. Yeah.
He's like, that's a specialty of his.
It's like
just that.
It's like the same intensity of as like a MMA fighter.
Yeah.
Like a UFC fighter right before he steps into the cage, because there's a certain switch that gets thrown on when you willingly throw yourself into danger.
Yeah, I definitely get it from my mom. She definitely made it. Like when I was a kid, she had a 28 foot by 28 foot round swimming pool, and it needed to be dug 7 feet deep. And I was probably like 8 or 9 years old, and she threw me a shovel. And you know how the ground here in California is pretty hard.
Hella hard.
She's like, dig it. And I was like, you're kidding, right? She's like, dig it. And I sat there and probably broke like 2 or 3 shovels and dug for like probably 2 months every day. Like even my best friends came by that were out of town. They were moved away. I'm like, oh, Mom, can I come on and see him? She's like, no, dig this hole. You're not leaving till it's done. And then like I tell her about it to this day. She's like, I never made you do that. Like she's just like really hardcore.
It sounds like child abuse.
No, she's like she's great, but she's like super hardcore and like
now get in.
And like I see like why she did it now and that's why I took shit so seriously is just because it's like I think when you're like pushed like that, it's just like you don't want to accept anything but doing it. You know what I mean? Like you realize what it takes to get something done sometimes. Like
that's funny.
But no, she was like really hard. I remember even I was showing her footage of like olling off roofs back in the day, and like I even showed her when I ollied the 17 stair here, and like most moms would be like, "Oh, that's crazy! Like you're gonna get hurt." She's like, "I thought you could already do that. Like come on, you can do that."
What's so impressive about that?
Yeah, no, she literally was just like, "That's it."
What's up with El Toro?
Yeah.
What, Mom?
Yeah. No, she's a straight Nazi. I swear to God.
That'd be funny.
She's crazy.
Oh man. That's that's probably where you get your intensity from.
Yeah, definitely.
Like 100%.
My dad's crazy on the other spectrum, but he's like super chill, like too chill.
Crazy on the other spectrum, but he's super chill.
Yeah, and yeah, he gets crazy though. She's like crazy in a destructive, certain way, and he's crazy in like a don't give a fuck type of way.
Well, that's sounds like a good combo of parents to have.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're just you're gonna be intense and crazy and. You're not going to give a fuck?
Yeah.
Boom. Speaking of intense and crazy, not giving a fuck. It looks like you were going to be out for the count. He just fell off a ledge, a super high ledge, right to his back. Picked a board up.
I was standing right there. It was super loud.
Just like picked his board up and literally ran right back up and went for it.
Yeah, this was all out in Boston right here.
I was going to say, it looks very East Coast-ish.
Yeah, I love skating out there.
Oh, man.
I like how I landed that one. Even though it was in a big rail, I like the way.
Combos on the DMV rail, though. There's a lot of sack spots out here too. Sacramento spots.
I love Sacramento. So, I love it.
There's so many spots here.
I love coming out here.
So the long DMV rail or Broadway rail, however you want to, it. A little 50 board slide, 50 lip slide, a little switch crook pop over, some front salads. Ooh, 5-0 crooks, man. This is such a good part.
Oh, thank you.
It's like I feel like I'm watching a pro level part.
Oh, thank you, man.
That's
Series high right there. That's one of the best ledge spots like on the planet, but it's
that's
one
of
the
now.
Kids nowadays don't even wax it up and skate it. They're like
it's just sitting there and
it's crazy. Like the kids nowadays, man. Really? It's like I don't understand.
Well, they got so many skate parks.
Just like lost in the times or something. Like they don't quite even care about certain things. Like these ledges are like fucking. They'd be in LA. They'd be all in videos, and like now they're just like bone dry. Don't even like every kid in high school must walk by them and see them. And
there's like no skateboarders left in high school anymore.
It's crazy.
Our true skateboarding generation is kind of the last. We're the lasts.
I mean, there's still
we're the last ones, dude.
But there's still people out there killing it, like even harder than ever.
Well, yes,
it's like more selectively those people, and then
park rats,
and then and a lot of people just want to do it because it's cool.
Well, okay, so here's what I mean by the lasts is that we're the last generation that remembers life without skate parks.
Yeah,
I think also we're the last generation where we came into like realization of like who we were as we came into realization as skaters, whereas these kids are like mature, like skating like mature adults when they're like just children. They don't even know who they are yet. So like, how do you know what your style is or what you're gonna like, or like even like someone like Chris Cole has like a change of who he is, and kind of like you see the evolution of Chris Cole, and he came in kind of more as an adult, you know what I mean? So you can see like multiple, like Nyjah, for example, it's so much different from one to the. We're gonna see these kids come in like 8 years old, and they're gonna go through so many changes, and it's like their generation can't really. It's weird, dude. It's so much different.
I could see that it being hard for somebody to develop a unique style on their own these days because of the inundation of how much we see. Yeah. Whereas for us, when we started out, we only had a couple of guys to look at. So if we skated like them, cool. If not, it was our own. It was however we skated. It was just, that was it. Yeah. And I think that's kind of lost today.
It's more raw too when you see like our era's footage, how we landed. That's just like how we landed. Like we didn't know to like style to like do
redo it.
These
or like
kids like know now the way they bend their little tweak of their leg, and like the way their hands are, like they're conscious of everything. The way their pants, how high they are above their socks.
Well, it's because the thing
those
is,
shoes are the cheapest. Give me those. I don't even.
Is
know
because when we started skating, we couldn't see ourselves skating. We skated with our buddies. Like, I mean, once we started filming, then we could, but we didn't see ourselves every day skating. Now, kids go to the skate park every single day. They get a clip on their iPhone or set their phone down on a whatever little tripod, and they can look at themselves and say, "Oh, that's horrible style. I'm gonna go back tomorrow and I'm gonna fix that."
Yeah.
We didn't have that. We were just like, "Fuck it, I landed it! Woo!"
Just some Gucci music. And
we did see it, and we didn't really know horrible style, and we were like, "Yes, I dragged a little bit."
I rolled away. That's all that matters. Like, look, I rolled away. Cool. Yeah, there was a hand touch, but I rolled away. I landed it, dude. Look at that. That's rad.
Plus, a lot of stuff's not acceptable to the new generation. They hate like Baker video landings, and it's a different world.
It is a different world, and. Are we going to adapt to it, or are we going to be the old dudes that are like, back in my day?
No, see, I don't feel like that at all, because like when I go skate, they got the 17-year-old still trying to keep up with me. I swear, like I think I just got good genetics or something. I think I'll be good for like another 10 years. Like I said, I got the best footage I've done, and it's done recently.
Really?
Yeah, I would say.
So I was going to ask you that.
Safe to say that my newer footage, I just, what is it, 14 stir? I just fakie flipped that. The 13 or 14. I just fakie flipped it. Best fakie flip I've ever done. Like all the young kids are just stepping to it. And kickflip Rayleigh's Field not too long ago. I got a bunch of other stuff under my belt, and it's the best stuff I've done so far.
You're gonna go back to the Davis.
And I'm gonna redo that. And I wanted to redo it at the time, but literally like 7 days after that, I blew my knee out at Epic. Some kid fell off his board, and I just tweaked my knee. But I actually went back and tried it after that day too. And then, like that, jumping down, that's not really an issue. I'm not really worried about that. But
jumping down the Davis Gap is not really an issue.
No, didn't hurt my feet one time. I never hurt my feet on it.
Kind of insoles.
There's so many bails when he gave me all that footage.
It's all how you land. It's like you gotta be
20 bails. On
like you gotta like keep your body weight like floating. Like you can't, like, as dumb as it sounds. Like I used to get heel bruises off 3 stairs. Like legit heel bruises. Like, oh fuck, I gotta double up my insoles. I started realizing, like, dude, I'm just landing hard on my feet. And then, like, now as I'm an adult, I'm like, dude, I could never bruise my heel off a 3-stair. What the fuck was I doing? I was landing heavy.
You're just stomping. Yeah.
Stomping. You gotta literally land as soft as fuck. And if you land soft, you will be soft. Like you are what you think. You gotta be soft. You gotta be light. You gotta be soft. And
also be like water.
When you're younger, you're scared to go fast, and then you start to learn that speed is like your friend because it reduces the impact. So
yeah, but I don't really smoke or drink anymore. Like I used to smoke pretty heavy. I don't smoke or drink anymore, and I have more energy than I'm just the same as I've been. I'm hoping I can get another 10 years, maybe more.
What's your diet like?
I just eat lots of raw like fruits and vegetables and like water, and like I don't eat any meat. I just eat like fish, like fresh caught fish. But like me and my girl are super healthy. Like I'll just wake up in the morning, eat a handful of strawberries, blueberries, cucumber water, and then I'll go like a lot of the day without eating anything, and then I'll just eat like really light. Like I don't eat a lot. And I just eat like real chill, and then like me and her go to the gym like for like an hour a day, and just not to bulk, just to keep in shape. Yeah, and like my energy level is just normal. Like I literally will be skating with kids that are like 17. I was skating the double set at the skate park the other day with some kids, and like I frontside flipped it and tray flipped it first try. I did a couple other tricks, and like there's this like 12-year-old kid trying kickflips. He tried 5. He's like, dude, I'm sore. I gotta stop. I'm like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, what the fuck?
You're 12. Like you have another 155 tries left. What the fuck are you talking about?
Minimum.
Like, cause you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So it's just like, I don't know if it's just the kids around my area or something, but they're definitely, from what I've seen, just getting soft or something.
Well, they're not like allowed to do PE in school anymore, and there's no contact sports anymore.
It's all the like,
everybody gets a trophy, so
it's all like the pop culture. They want everyone just to be whack.
Pussification of America.
I hate to say it,
everyone's a winner, no one's a winner.
Yeah.
I agree.
No, I just got that old school grit in me. Like, I'll fucking try it till I fucking literally can't move, and then I might try it one more time. You know?
Yeah, and then I'll come back first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
And we'll get back to work.
Yeah.
All right, so this line right here is one I wanted to talk about. It's just super cool.
Yeah, me and Jairo literally drove there randomly one day.
Another sack spot. So we're looking at the San Juan 12, the good green rail, but this was quite a while ago, so the speed bumps were still there.
Yeah.
They're gone now. I don't know if you've been there recently.
We just went back I just went back and skated that a couple weeks ago.
All right. I'm gonna ask you about all that off air.
The ground was definitely better.
So switch frontside flip, tray flip, kick flip. But he could have got one more in there. It could have been like a nollie heel or something in there.
Could have been one more, yeah.
Nollie flip would have been cool.
Yeah.
And then back Smith. So he does all that and then back Smiths the 12 rail. Yeah, no big deal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, this double set
was so hyped about
this
that
double
one.
set's dope. That
Dude,
was first try.
Huge double set.
That was second try.
Huge apartment. The apartment one was
that was first try, the ollie.
I remember the day of that ollie when you did that. Was like I felt the impact like in my soul when he landed.
Dude,
it.
I felt the impact.
Like he was Batman, and I was just like, "Oh my god, he's crazy."
I felt the impact through the.
Too.
I felt it through the fucking video. And
I landed a little heavy then.
Right.
I would land softer now. I would land softer now.
Yeah, I could see you.
I was
going
a little heavy.
Probably a little faster too.
A little faster, and I landed a little heavy.
Well, it's hard to not land heavy off a 20 stair. Okay, so this section right here, there's like a nice little, like a solid minute or so where there's just a barrage of tricks.
Yeah.
Like a barrage of tricks to the point where as soon as, I feel like when you were editing, as soon as that, like the frame that you could tell that you were rolling away, you cut it.
Maybe I should have left a little bit more, but at the time, like I was just like kind of smoking weed and listening to the song. I'm like, dude, this is a song. Like, I want it to be super intense because that's how I felt about what I was, you know what I mean? And like, I just feel like if I gave this footage to anyone out there in the whole world, they wouldn't have picked this song and put it this way. And like, I get a lot of people, they like this part. And
I like it.
You know, at first I was always like, I got better shit. I've been doing better shit. I've still been doing better shit, but I get hyped that people like it because I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's the point that I did something that people to this day still like. So I'm like, that's tight, you know? Like,
almost every trick in this video is still relevant today.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that.
Right? No, it's not even, I don't even think that's necessarily my opinion. If you look and just call out the tricks that happen in this video on the spots in this video, it'd be like, oh, when did this video come out? Is it recent? Is it new?
Yeah.
Like, no, like several years. What is it? Like 6 years ago, 7 years ago?
Longer than that.
10 years ago.
So I'm not keeping track, but it's definitely been a little while.
2003 was the premiere, so some of it's
15 years ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that means it was filmed at least 16 years ago, 17 years ago maybe, and it's still 100% relevant. If you were to re-release this part and say, hey, I just dropped this, everybody would be like, oh, fucking sick part, dude.
I actually think it was 10 years ago because I remember at the premiere, I was 21.
We said 2003 was the premiere, right?
I think for some reason I remember being 21 at the premiere, but I could... No?
Yeah, if it was 2003, that was 15.
20.
You're tripping.
20.
No.
Yeah, I think he's tripping. I don't know.
No, you're wrong. I'm going to do some research.
It's right there, like switch lip slide on a handrail, tray flip the Oak Park gap, late shove over a flat bar. Was that Willie grind? Big pop shove, salad grind down San Juan. Dude.
Yeah, I was always hyped on this line.
Like legit, all the tricks I just called out. Be like, oh, I just saw so-and-so do all those tricks on, just dropped, you know? So this line right here, we got a half cab flip to start it out. Yeah, salad grind on the... there we go. Half cab flip to start it out.
This.
Yeah, it's like how I stayed at the
push,
top of the
and
frame.
then back 180 melon.
Yeah.
Melon? Back 180 melon over like a handicap to flat. And then was that switch grab in there?
Yeah.
What is that, like a 15?
What is that?
Switch mute or whatever? What do you call it?
I honestly don't remember how many stairs that was.
This was like a switch indie grab down like a 15 or 16. Lip slide with some crazy knobs.
That's a 13 servo.
Oh, switch frontside flip?
That varial hill flip, I swear to God, was like maybe second try.
Jeez,
there's some horchatas walking by, and I was like,
some horchatas?
Yeah, I was like, I like whistled at him or something. I'm like, right, because I thought they were watching me. I was like, oh fuck yeah.
Is that okay to say?
I think it is. Yeah, and I was just like, I'm gonna land this shit.
You meant
it
in a good way.
I literally like didn't even like mean to land it. I kind of wanted to land it, and it just
happened.
Like
I had just done a Smith grind. I thought it was like so tight, and then I look over, and it was just like.
He just sails a varial heel. You're like, bum.
No, it's crazy. Back in the day, like there was multiple times where I'm like, I'm just gonna throw a tray flip out and I'll land it. Like back in the day, I would just like in my head, I'm just gonna try to like kick out off this roof to see what the impact's like, and I would just land it. Like I wouldn't even try to land it, and then I would just be rolling away.
I don't even know what that's like.
Dude, I don't like thinking back on it now. Like I'm like, dude, I really did not think I was gonna land that, and it just landed at second try.
So that's your trick, is you just got to literally not think about it.
I just got to put myself in a position to try it. Like if I put myself in a position to try it, I'll probably do it.
Skate blindfolded.
There's certain people where if they feel safer going down with the ship or they feel safer bailing, and I feel like you're definitely the type where if you're in the air and you're not sure about the back 180, you're gonna probably, if the board is land onable, like you're gonna try to land on it to feel safer.
Well, it'll probably lessen the impact.
Less impact, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'd rather land on flexible wood. Than hard concrete.
That's why I don't skate drops. I don't understand that.
But no, when I'm in the air, I'm like, get this board away from me as fast as possible. Yeah. I'll take the concrete.
Yeah. That frame's sick. That you paused it on.
It was sick. Yeah, switch frontside flip down the Folsom 11. Like and you just peppered it in there real quick. Like, hey, look at this. That's gnarly. And
we brightened it a lot. It was so dark when he did that.
And then nollie flip.
That nollie flip too went down real easy.
Was that the Hollywood one?
Roseville.
Roseville. That's the Roseville triple set.
Oh, yeah, that nollie flip, I had him so good back then. Like that went down with just in a few tries. It was like right before it was getting dark, and
yeah, that triple set's gone.
It was like I'm hyped on this one because it's like a perfect front foot catch.
Yeah,
and
like beautiful.
Like even before that, I'm like, I knew I was gonna land it, so I was like, I'm just keep my arms down. Like,
yeah, it's so chill. In fact, if you want to go back there and try something else, it's even gnarlier because they put those like
the strip.
Yeah, strips at the top and the bottom.
Yeah,
just gap over all of it.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
And then like send it to the Roseville City and just be like, can't stop me.
Right.
Then there'll be like some poles and a fence and shit down there. Yeah, nollie flip was gnarly. And this feeble down like, hey, it's a quadruple set.
That's in Mass. Yeah.
And your ender. So this ender,
I definitely was going for something. I was trying to kickflip that 17 I ollied, but I ended up breaking my toe. It's still broken to this day. It's all fucked up.
Still broken?
Dude, it's so fucked up. The actual width of my foot is like a 1/4 inch wider. The tendons that hold your toe straight are all snapped. My toe's all the way over here. There's like what's called a Mortensen Roma, I guess between your pinky toe and your third toe. There's like a huge nerve. It's like the size of like an M&M. And like all the pressure's up against it. So when I wake up in the morning, you can feel it like move back. Like I'm not even trying to exaggerate, but it's fucked. Like it's super fucked.
And you still skate?
Yeah, like most of the time now I have to skate without socks on. And I gotta like buy my shoes and like wear them for like a month and then skate in them. Otherwise, like it's really too much pain.
Is there a way to fix that?
I went to like one of the best foot doctors in the world, and pretty much what the issue is that all the bones in your foot sit there. They're not locked in like your hip joint, you know. And the only thing that holds them in place, there's like this little capsule that holds your synovial fluid and everything. There's like little tendons. Those have completely snapped and it's been ruptured. So the only way for them to fix it would be to drill like a metal drill all the way down the length of your toe and then sew everything back together. And even then, you're probably gonna have so much scar tissue and stuff in there that it might break again. And it's just pretty much like...
And the bones are so tiny.
It's either that or take out the Mortensen Roma, the nerve that causes pain, but then you'll lose feeling in the bottom of your foot. So I was just like...
you won't have to worry about impact anymore.
Yeah, like when it first happened, I was like, fuck, dude, I don't know if I can skate anymore, you know? And then it was just like, oh, I could kick flip, oh, I can ollie, and then you just push through it, and you start realizing like fuck, you're way more mentally strong than people...
Jesus.
People are like you said, pussies in a sense. Like you start realizing mentally you can overcome any type of obstacle that you want. You know what I mean? Like my knee, I don't know if you can hear it on fucking video. On this thing. Listen to this damn thing. all the knee surgeries I got.
Oh, dude. Oh, no.
I don't know if you could hear that, but that's like...
Okay, so for people who aren't watching, he just scooted back and lifted his knee up and just kind of squeezed his knee just a little bit like against him, and that popping sound.
No, it's super fucked. They had a 7-hour surgery. I had to get like a cadaver replacement in there, and like you just start realizing like if you mentally can see through it, it's not like a big deal. But no, my foot's super fucked up. But I wanted a better ender than this, but I was like hyped at the time because it was like one push. It was something different. It was super narrow. I just remember feeling like it was something different.
So sorry, we were talking about your ender, huh? That just fuck, man. That was.
No, I have a grade.
Intense, dude.
No, I got like grade 3 arthritis in my knee because some fucking idiot doctor in Modesto was like, "Oh no, you're fine." You know, like he's like, "You got a little tear in your meniscus. I'm gonna take it out, and all your weight bearing cartilage will be there. You're fine. You're totally fine." Got out of the surgery. I knew something was wrong. But he's like, "No, you're fine, dude. You're fine. You don't even need rehab. You'll heal right up. You young guys heal up fine. Like, ride your bike, you know.
Take some painkillers."
Yeah, so I'm out riding my bike every day, like pushing through the pain. I'm out like going on hikes and shit.
Oh, shit.
And then like something's not right. So I go to see Danny Wade's doctor because I'm like, this guy will give me the answers I'm looking for. You know what I mean? I go meet up with him. He's like, "Dude, you have no lateral meniscus at all.
He just took it
you're bone on bone. Your shit's fucked up, dude."
Yeah.
He's like, "I wouldn't even fix your knee if your tendons were messed up too." He's like, "You're lucky it's even fixable." And I had to go on a waiting list for almost a year before they even found me a matchable part. And then it took a year to hear. Like they literally cut out my shin bone and attached a new piece of cartilage to the cadaver shin bone. And then I had 20 staples. And it was a 7-hour surgery. It was like nar.
No painkillers.
No, I didn't take any painkillers or nothing.
You take any painkillers?
I was like passing out the next day from the pain and shit, and like tripping out.
He doesn't do painkillers.
No painkillers?
Dude, I've taken one before in the past. I just can't shit. I take a pain pill. I can't shit for like 3 days, 4 days.
I don't do them either.
I just can't do it. I don't know. I'm just like all about just fucking being mentally strong, you know?
Well, damn, dude. I mean, you've got to be mentally strong to skate like you do, and then to deal with all of that, and then to still skate.
Yeah, like my foot's super fucked up, and like I still skate. That's why when
sounds like your knee's pretty fucked up too.
Yeah, but that's why I know in my head that like I will skate no matter what forever as long as I can. You know, obviously the level will have to like slowly go down over time. Like I'm not gonna be able to be at my peak forever. You know what I mean? But like definitely like just persevere. You know.
Have you heard or looked into like stem cell therapy at all?
They looked into that for my knee. They at first thought they would have to regrow my cartilage in a petri dish. They said it in Boston and send it back over and all this shit. But he like looked at it and he's like, you know, I think as long as you get a cadaver replacement of your meniscus, you'll be fine. And dude, I got to give it to that guy. I owe him everything, dude.
Yeah, but how long ago was that?
That was like 4 years ago.
So things have like crazy changed.
Yeah.
Just in like every year they change.
Yeah, my knee feels good.
Oh, it does?
My knee feels 100.
It just sounds like
dude,
that.
my knee is because of all the trauma it had, the muscles around my knee are so fucking big that this shit's solid. And my ankle actually is super solid because my toes are fucked up.
It's just your toes.
So it like made up for it. And my toes, once I realized it's all mental pain, it's like a nerve pain. So like I don't know if you ever bitten into something cold, it's like that weird sharp pain. Mm-hmm. I deal with that, but it's like I just know it's mental. It's like not killing me, you know? So I just like...
It's just a nerve in your body telling your brain like, hey, something's happening.
No, I just like learn like...
It goes away.
I just learned to fuck with it, you know?
Damn. All right. Fuck.
It was so bad, like when I was trying to kick Rayleigh's field, I would try it and I wouldn't be able to walk for 2 weeks and then I'd have to come back a month later because that nerve would swell up. But I still got it done. You know what I mean? Like...
By the way, the roll up on this ollie in right here
is non-existent.
So it's even less than it looks like because like down by his shin, it sticks out to the bench you can sit on. So that wall that's behind him is like actually like 2 feet.
Well, you can see.
You can actually push from.
Yeah, you can see that it's like
a sidewalk square.
So it's
literally like a sidewalk.
Here it is. Boom. All right. So for those of you guys who can't see it, it's was it like a 10 stair, 9 stair, somewhere around there, and on the...
I think it's a 12 or something.
I think that's a 14.
12. He's right.
It's a 15.
Of course he's right. You studied everything. You edited this, you know.
By the way, I looked it up. It was 2005.
2005?
I looked at
so you were wrong.
The ticket. I was wrong, yeah. I was right on my episode, though.
So 2005, would that
August.
make you 21?
No.
No.
Probably not. I think I was like 20.
No. Maybe. I remember when I turned 21.
I was 20. I was 20.
All right, so back to your ender. It's a 12 stair with a hubba next to it, but the hubba is a curved like a quarter pipe, and so like the first couple of stairs it goes out flat, and then has like a drop in, like a quarter pipe would, and he like gaps out and ollies into and like rolls in.
I kind of caught like a little grind at the end, but I kind of liked it. I was just like, kind of like at that time was about the raw skating, like landing and surfing out and touching the ground. Like I kind of liked all that shit. Like,
in fact, I wrote that down. There was a little grind at the end.
No, I kind of was like digging all that type of like rawness at that point. Like for some reason, I think I was watching too much Jim Greco or something.
I think we might have even raised the audio gain a little bit so that you could hear it, because it was like,
oh yeah,
so rad.
You hear just that at the very end, because the ledge is only maybe a foot.
That was first try.
That's amazing.
That's why I kind of just kept it. I was like hyped on it.
Oh, I fucking believe it. Even if it wasn't first try, it was fantastic for an ender.
I grew up skating and to know that fun, but we never thought anyone would do that.
To know that it was first try, it was like, what the fuck, bro?
It's kind of the top two is kind of like a gap out. Like you kind of got to like go out.
Yeah, it looks like the first like maybe 3 or 4 stairs, the ledge just goes straight out.
Yeah.
And then it dips into like a quarter pipe shape and drops off maybe like
I just remember thinking like if I fucked up, like I was gonna eat shit.
Oh yeah, that's definitely you got to be precise.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any trainee skaters out there that want to go really fast, ollie up and get something, hit us up.
That would be
crazy,
dude, to like ollie up blunt.
I'm not a
fakey
trainee skater, and I've ollied up and gone up about halfway, a little higher, and I don't even skate that stuff. So
I don't know though. That's gnarly.
It's doable.
Is it doable?
I've ollied up and gone up about a little over halfway.
Damn.
And I don't do that stuff.
Because see,
some Leo Romero.
What I picture happening here
up and doing
for me is I'll ollie up, no problem. But then as soon as I hit that tranny, I'm gonna do like a cartwheel in the air and land somewhere near my head on the stairs.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna happen to me, dude. So that ender was. I want to watch it again. That's just like so. He's like no runway, like barely half a push, has just enough time to put his feet on the board, maybe a little move around, and then boom, pop, like and gapping out. Oh god, dude, that moment where you're full extension and you're like right over the flat part, like am I gonna hang up? Am I down enough? Am I angled enough? Just that that looks so fun.
Also, it's really slick paint.
It's like
slippery.
Painted white, and you can see his wheel marks as he comes down off it. You can see his wheel marks, so you know that if he was just a little turned just a little too much, that could have been fucking disastrous. Oh man, kudos, my friend. Kudos. And then okay, so we've got one more part that we're gonna look at because it's not terribly long, and it's pretty fantastic. It's your Foundation Secret Society full VX part, posted by Metro. The first one you can find, Go to Sleep, you can find on Mike Fork. The YouTube channel is called Mike Fork. Who is that?
Oh, one of the homies back from Boston. I don't know how or why he posted it.
I'm so glad he did, and I hope he keeps it up like forever.
Did he post all of them?
He posted like the majority of it. I think everything with the friends section.
So it was just a homie that happened to get a copy of it.
I really don't know how it happened. Thank you, Mike Fork. Yeah, he was on it for sure. Just one of the homies back from Boston.
Yeah, so if you want to check out that part that we just watched, you can look at just type in Schuyler Ricketts Go to Sleep, and it's boom, it's there. And then right now we're watching, if you want to type in Schuyler Ricketts full VX part or Secret Society Foundation Schuyler Ricketts. And in the beginning of this one, we have some more
chaos.
Some more chaos. So you looks like you're trying to fakie flip the Folsom 11.
Yeah.
And a security guard pulls up right. Like you're in midair, and
he was still moving towards me.
He was the groundskeeper.
Yeah, like the story behind this is like I had some homies with me, and then the principal or some female came out, and we're like, "Come on, one more try." She's like, "Okay, guys, one more try," and everyone's like, "Go, one more try." I was like, "Fuck yeah," So I throw my board down, I'm pushing, and like right as like I'm like in the zone where you can't stop anymore, like you're going too fast to like stop.
Yeah,
I can't abort mission. I see this guy like. And when you're at the top of the stairs, they look like they're closer than they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks like he's coming underneath my feet.
Yeah.
And I fucking go to pop for the fakie flip, and I just remember thinking like, fuck this guy. He's trying to break my legs. You know what I mean? Because like my balance was all off and shit. Right when I land, I'm so close. Like I'm like in the cart damn near. Like I'm like right there. I just reached over and socked that fool as hard as I could. And then he jumps up like he's going to do something like.
Not just that, it's like a John Deere.
Like, see how I had to bail? That was like a sketchy bail.
The bolts out of the seat when he hit it.
That's like a sketchy bail.
All right, so you're midair right here. Oh. Yeah, you like basically when so he tries the fakie flip and he flicks it all the way around. And as soon as the board comes all the way around, he like catches it by the nose because he's already getting blocked by this guy. And as soon as he lands, he's like kind of backwards when he lands. And it looks like your feet touch the ground and then your butt actually sits like on the fender.
Yeah, it was close.
It was that close.
If I was lazy and let my body just roll, I would have rolled into the.
Oh, definitely. You would have rolled over it.
Or if you didn't know what you were doing, you had fallen, you could have broken your neck into the side of the
Or if you committed, like if you would have committed to that flip,
landed it,
you would have your legs would have been taken out. You would have flown over.
Yeah.
Dude, that could have fucking killed
that
you.
guy was assaulted. In my mind, he assaulted me.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Especially considering you were just given the okay by school.
Well, regardless of what the situation is, if somebody is in midair jumping down something that large, going that fast, not only are you putting their life in danger, but you're putting your life in danger too, because you could have very easily killed yourself as well as given him like major head trauma. There could have been so much.
Could have kicked the board out of his face.
Exactly, dude. Like
he doesn't know what if I was trying to frontside flip, it would have went right to his face.
Right, and you would have kicked out, and trucks to the face, dude. And he could have dealt with that for the rest of his life. Yeah. So if you're a security guard or a maintenance dude or a groundskeeper or somebody else who doesn't have any business kicking a skateboarder out of a spot, remember that if he's jumping down something, you should probably stay the fuck away from his board and him, and just give him one more try. And that's my PSA for the day. All right, so here we go.
Hey, look at this.
Man.
The
and
seat
then
broke out.
Yeah, dude. And then
I get crazy like retard strength when I get mad. Like back in the day, we were skating this one spot, and I ripped a whole chain link fence.
Can we say that? Is that okay to say?
Ripped like a whole chain link fence off the hinges.
Crazy retard strength.
No, I swear.
So right here, and then he hits the golf cart with his board so hard that the seat just like pops out, starts rolling down the.
What he just mentioned, man. I've seen him rip multiple things out of the ground, like. One of them,
multiple things.
A different one was a handicap rail, and he was like had just fallen, and it was like you rolled your ankle. He was just gonna do a trick off a loading dock this high, and he hit a rock a foot before it, and rolled his ankle super bad, doing nothing. And he walks over to this handicap rail. It's a perfectly good, nothing wrong with it, and he started like trying to move it, and it wasn't budging at first, but then a little more, and then it's kind of rocking, and then it's bending, and then like where it connects to the ground started to break out, and then the next thing you know, like the whole thing, it was like the L-shaped ones that, you know, he just ripped it out and picked it up and threw it, and I was like, oh my God. And I tried to like go lift it, and it was so heavy. I was like, how did he?
You're just like make a mental note, like, okay, don't fuck with him.
And there's been a few times of that where I could tell like there's no way, like your muscles, something had to have torn, like that had to have.
No, it's the determination.
Yeah.
It's that little the crazy switch that he's like, no, I'm doing this. Yeah. I'm doing this. And same thing with your skate tricks. When as soon as you, like, no, I'm doing this. Like, I'm doing it.
Much work.
I'm right there with you, bro.
Yeah,
I'm right there with you.
This rail here in Sonora is crazy. Like the roll up is like all downhill. Like
I hate those rails.
Yeah, it's downhill roll up.
It's like what, like a 15 or something?
I think it's a 14.
14.
That's one of my favorite.
So he
rails
goes front Smith and then
it looks so good.
There's Miles Silva's in the back.
Is that Miles?
Yeah, back in the day we used to skate. And shit.
Yeah, a little.
Probably doesn't even remember, but.
So
that's Alan Hannon.
So he goes front Smith and back Smith on the same. Was that 14, something like that?
None of that even got used in the.
And then
I sent it to him.
Dude, you backside flipped into the Woodland Euro.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen anybody go into it.
What's his name? Kickflip into it. It's on Osiris and Creature.
Taylor
Bingham.
Taylor Bingham did.
Yeah.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah, he kickflipped into it in his transworld part.
Yeah, man, you backside flipped into it. That's so
a good
sick,
one too,
dude. A good one.
I like it.
A perfect one.
That was first try.
Yeah, that was.
And then
so
a crook
sick.
on a super long, looks like super high.
Yeah, Chris Ray filmed that on the fisheye angle, and like all this stuff I had sent to Foundation, even the backsmith and the 14-year-old, none of it even gets used.
So that was Chris Ray down there.
Yeah, like none of it even gets used, and then in the same video they'd be like people backsmithing like, an 8-stair rail.
The fisheye angle was sick too, because that spot was like there wasn't a lot of roll up, and the doors had to be open, right? And you had to like come out.
Oh yeah,
so
I was
out of the
inside
doors?
of a church.
Yeah.
And the pastor said we could skate it as long as we spray painted it back. I was like standing there by Jesus, the freaking the little thing on the cross. I'm like, fuck, man. Like run through the carpet, threw my board down, crooked it first try.
Damn.
So the fisheye angle looks tight.
But it's nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bummer, dude.
Yeah.
And some of it's a bummer too, because I think, and I've seen this happen with a lot of skaters. They're like, we got the clips from the filmer. That's hard enough to do, and they send it. So like, cool, my footage is out there. Like I'll see it one day, and then it doesn't get used, and then they didn't think to hold on to it, and they don't have it anymore. And it's
you always hold on to it.
Gone. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I've seen so much footage disappear.
Like 3 years after this or something.
Live and learn type shit.
Jaws feebled the same reel.
Oh yeah.
I do mind a
and you did feeble 180.
Yeah.
So it's looking at was like a 6-flat-6 double kinked rail though, down flat down.
Yep.
And he goes back feeble 180. Oof. And then in this, dude,
right off the 99.
two fat gaps in like parking lot to parking lot, where each parking lot's like way higher than the next one. And
that's on the 99 if you're heading towards Frisco when you're
Yeah.
passing like Hayward or Dublin. It's right there on the right.
Fucking gnarly, dude. It goes
It's huge.
kickflip and then back 180. And both of these gaps would basically be sufficient for a single trick. Like most people would just be like, all right, pick which gap you want to skate. And he's like, no, I'm going to skate both of them. And I think I could get a line here.
It's one of those drops where the footage doesn't really do it justice, and it's not the filmer's fault. It's just like, it's never going to look as when you stand at the top of that. It's just like,
unless you had multiple angles.
Even with that, I feel like I've never seen that gap look on film.
I've never filmed
how
there.
it is in
I've
person.
never filmed there.
Let's go.
Let's do it. I'll make it happen, dude.
I'll watch.
I probably wouldn't be able to. You want to hit that gap again? I'll come out.
I'm down. They got these like overhangs over them now.
Dude, I film all HD.
Oh, no way.
My footage won't match, bro. I could put some grain on it if you want. Oh man, VX guys are like, fuck you. I got into it with Daniel last week. I was poking at him for not filming. I like the VX though. The VX has a certain feel to it, and in my opinion, it matches your skating. Like this part, you're skating and everything goes like
that 360 flip. Go back. So that spot was a construction site, had rocks everywhere. You're insane for doing that.
Dude, yes. You're like, you roll into rebar. Okay, so this is a 360 flip down like a pretty good, it's a little elevated.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's
it
like
was long.
Probably like 4 or 5 feet high.
4 or 5 feet drop, maybe like 6 feet, maybe?
No, like
10.
Longer?
Like 10 to 14 feet.
Whew.
Watch.
It's
go
bigger
to the flat view of it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's right there. Look at the size of you. Look at the size of the gap.
Go to that other angle of it on the side and pause.
Yeah, that day I heel flipped it, varial heeled it, front side flipped it. Did a couple other tricks that day too.
So if you look, that's Jeff Landy is the one that was down at the bottom. So if you see, it's like 2 stories. So the dude, the filmer at the right there is on the second story. And
down there?
Yeah, he's 1 story up. And he's at the top of like a tall ladder. That's the top of like a full-size ladder. And then it's another story up.
Jesus.
And then Jeff Landy took a photo from the very bottom. And down there is really wide. Like, it's really wide. It was a long...
Yeah, you can really see it. Because if you just judge like scale, if you're watching this at home, you could judge scale. Like, look at how long his board is. And that's, 2.5 to 3 feet. So do, 2, 3, that's like 12 to 14 feet. And that crazy long drop. And then on to top all, as if that wasn't intense enough, it looks like when you land, you're just running into some rebarb, like because it's new construction. So it looks like the foundation levels have been poured. So there's rebar sticking out and there's rebar laying around for the next stage of pour. It's fucking intense, dude.
There was actually on the inside cover that next month of Transworld was from the same session. Blue Turner did a kickflip across it.
Oh, yeah?
And that's why Jeff Landy was down there. He got a photograph of that, and they used it on the inside cover.
But, dude, you tray flipped it.
Yeah, he did like 6 tricks over
Story of my life, man.
Story
of my life.
But yeah, there was no photo taken. But actually, he happened to accidentally get a picture. I did a switch frontside flip across it. And
I've seen that picture, yeah.
Yeah, and he happened to get a picture. It was hard to get that photo because he thought I was blue.
In fact, that photo...
He didn't mean to take a picture of me.
I used that photo for... for your graphic on the last episode.
That was hard. He was cool though. He gave it to me.
That's cool.
But yeah, that tray flip, all those tricks, I couldn't believe how many times you kept going at it. Because even like Blue, like we went a couple times and it was like, okay, let's go, you know? Like you like.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to skate that. I wouldn't want to session
there were
that
little rocks
gap.
everywhere. We didn't have proper tools to clean it off. It was a construction site and it was like so far down. Like you do that once and it was just like trick.
What else did you do down there?
I frontside flipped it. I'm pretty sure I kick flipped it. I heel flipped it. I Vero heeled it.
You were just skating it.
Like,
yeah.
This is the gap for the day.
Yeah. It was fun. I was actually having fun on that. It was fun.
It was terrifying just watching.
Oh my god. And then we got, let's go. We got nollie hard flip down a good 4 block.
Yep.
I like the land in. You're like, nope, I got it.
I think that switch flip was second try.
Man.
The fakie flip. I've been going back for that fakie flip for like a month, right? Couldn't get it. I went that day. I did it 3rd try, and I'm pretty sure the switch flip was
2 tries later.
2 tries. I really think it was 2 tries, like right after it.
There he goes. Switch flip down the Folsom 11, perfect, and then fakie flip, perfect. And then he's wearing, it's the same color. He's wearing the same shirt. It's obviously very like right. Just boom, he did that both. And then heel flip that sunrise gap.
That heel flip was so good.
That's a big gap. And then there's the back 180 down the Rayleigh Field double set, which is like a 8 flat 8 or some shit.
It's funny, everyone that leaves comments on this video, they're like, man, this song sucks, this and that. But it's the same people.
Fuck those guys.
But no, it's probably the same people who wear like Nirvana shirts. And like, I purposely picked like a really obscure live Nirvana song where Kurt Cobain's just fucking up the guitar and like being crazy. Because I kind of felt like at the time, like the footage, like everyone, I kind of got the vibe that like it wasn't getting any respect. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna put it with some grungy ass music and just put it out there like that anyways, you know? And then
I gotta say, I've seen like probably 3 edits. One recently came out. I can't think of what it was, damn it, but that have come out in like 2017, and right now in 2018 one just came out. If someone can think of it, just comment it, where it's like feedback like this is always like some drum tones and
I just wanted to be chaos. I just wanted to be all like
chaotic. I've seen that a few times. Every time it reminds me of this.
Yeah, just in the live performance too. If you actually watch the live performance of Nirvana and Kurt Cobain when he did this, it's just the energy's sick. Like he's just all over the place, fucking wild, fucking smashing shit.
Anytime you see Cobain, there's energy from him.
It's just funny because all the people who say like, oh, what the fuck is this shit? It's like, well, don't go out and wear a Nirvana shirt then because you can't rep them anymore.
And you'll never find a song that everyone's gonna like, dude. It's crazy how
no, someone's always gonna hate on.
I wouldn't even call this a song. It's just like noise.
It's just
which is tight. I kind of wanted just noise.
Well,
soundtrack.
I like it because you don't even notice really that it's there. Yeah, because it blends with the skating sounds so well that you're just kind of sweeps you up in the chaos, and you just kind of, and then when it's over, you're like, oh shit, that was crazy.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, the sound guy knows.
It was
what's
like
up.
It was like kind of crazy.
He knows all
at the
about
time
this
too,
shit
because I fucked my knee up, and I kind of didn't get to finish the part exactly how I wanted. So I kind of wanted the whole thing just to feel like just crazy. And
well, mission accomplished.
Oh, thank you.
Boom, and then we got backside flip down the Zinfandel double set, which is a 6
That
flat
was
6.
3rd try. I put these both. I swear to God, were 3rd try on everything.
Oh, I believe you.
Both those tricks.
Also, that backside flip was like 2008.
So he backside flips it, and then he comes back and frontside flips it. And this thing is a beast. So I used to live right down the street from this, like right around the corner from this double set, and we'd always skate the other one because it's basically like 2 ends of a shopping center, and the sidewalk rolls, the length of it, and on one side it's like a 3 flat 3 that has like a decent flat gap, a decent, good little double set. But then on the other side, it's a 6 flat 6 that's just monstrous. Miles Silvis did a switch heel down it in one of his last parts. It's ginormous.
You know what? I swear to God, I went back there and looked at it like 2 months ago, and like it's not that big.
Well, we've already established that you're a little different. And you don't see things on the same spectrum that most people do.
The first time I went there with him,
I'm gonna do something better down it.
The first time we went there with him, I had never seen it before, and we skated the little one, and we headed over, and he was like, "You were ahead of the group," and we're all like heading as a group, and just like full speed ahead. Ollie didn't look for cars or nothing, and like power slide out to the road, and I had no idea what he was going at. And dude, when I got up there, I was like, "How the?"
Dude, and that's not a side street.
Just for fun.
The main,
That's two main drags.
Yeah.
That's like two main drags. Boom, right there. Like the freeway is literally like 2 blocks up north from that. And you're just out there session.
I remember when I backstep flipped it too, I tried to pop shove it like at least 30 times. I couldn't land it for some reason. And I was like, fuck it. I'll try backstep flip. And then like the first one went to my feet. I was like, why the fuck didn't I land it? Second one went to my feet. I was like, dude, if it happens again, I'm fucking sticking it. And then just got lucky.
Damn. So you sat there and battled a shove.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck was I even doing that
and
for?
we're like, fuck that trick.
Yeah.
And then you go backside flip.
Yeah. And then the frontside flip, we just went there at nighttime and I couldn't see shit. And I just ended up doing it. Same thing. Right to my feet. Both times. The first try, I could have landed it. I was like, what the fuck? And then I just, third try.
That was one of the best frontside flips. It was really good.
I'm hyped on that one. It felt real chill.
Take a look at these again. So.
It felt like I could go real slow and still clear it for some reason.
Boom! You just got mad pop.
That's how you want to do it, right there.
And then, the infamous Davis Gap, the Ivy Gap, or whatever you call it. It's fucking huge. So if you don't know about the Davis Gap, then you probably haven't watched anything. But it's Chris Jocelyn just tray flipped it in one of his most recent parts for his ender.
Plan B, true.
That's right. And then Andrew Reynolds kick flipped it. I know Ryan DeCenzo 180'd it, front 180'd it. Corey Duffel front 180'd it. And then Schuyler.
Jamie Thomas ollied it. He was the first one.
Jamie Thomas ollied it.
Yeah, I definitely got.
And Schuyler Ricketts back 180s it. So that's a list of what, like 6 dudes?
Like elite.
And I think those like.
Well, also it's a very small list of tricks and people that people list a lot, but this never gets mentioned, and it was in a Transworld video.
I beg to differ. I actually went and I researched this topic.
All right.
So I went and researched like best tricks down to the Davis Gap, and there were several videos on YouTube where people have taken montages. You're in every one.
What? I haven't looked at those.
You're in every one.
People talk
literally
about
like
podcasts.
It goes like Andrew Reynolds, Ryan DeCenzo, Corey Duffel, Schuyler Ricketts, Chris
sick.
Jocelyn.
Yeah,
so you're like
on one of those before.
No, I'm definitely gonna. I definitely got some more shit planned too, and like I'm kind of like on a new chapter of life too and shit. Because like I'm actually gonna be having a kid here pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like.
Congratulations.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of hyped on it because like I just want them to know that their dad's a champion and shit. So I'm just like it kind of like made me even more like, well, for like the next fucking however many years I can, like I'm gonna go real hard because I want them to see like that I could like just see that I can do it. You know what I mean? Like.
Well. This is something that very, very rarely, there are a very small amount of people in the fucking universe, okay? The universe that can say, I'm on a list of like under 10 people in the world that have done X. Right? I mean, just think about in all the different, whatever, extreme sports, science, math, whatever. You know what I mean? There's only been a certain amount of presidents. There's only been a certain amount of X, whatever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To have a list of people of how many, 6 billion people in the world, and there's under like 10 people that have done this.
That's crazy to think.
Like, and you probably don't sit there and think about that because you're in it and your mindset doesn't, you don't seem very like, oh, look at me, Yeah. But for me, looking at it, like, dude, is there anything in my life that, you know what I mean? Like, is there anything in my life that I could say, yeah, man, no, under 10 people have ever done that in their whole, ever in existence. No, like shit. What have I been doing with my life? I need to step my fucking game up, bro.
I kind of expected more right after he did that.
Right?
Like I kind of expect, like, I don't know, King of the Road is like pull him in to do all your big jumps, save your pros and your main dudes, and like.
That's the thing. Like I never, like I was in contact with him. I never got hit up, and like when What the Fuck came out. I had all this filmed, and like I'm repping Foundation shirt in there.
I see Foundation every time you flip your board.
The Foundation board, you can clearly see it.
Oh yeah.
You would think like if I was a team manager, and I'm like, damn, some kid I've been giving fucking boards to went out and did this with the shirt on, with the board on. He wears it every fucking time, damn near, in all the clips. I would have been like, yo, bro, come out and skate with us or something, like something.
Yeah.
It was just like, I sent him all this footage. He was just like, cool. That's it. Like literally the word cool, period, or nice. Period.
He had me edit most of his stuff and send a lot of it for him because I usually do a lot of that. And I remember, some of the emails would be like shocking. And I remember that was
even,
one where it was
even
like,
if I got like a few more extra boards that month,
like,
that would have been some like at least some like just no recognition, pretty much. Not even a pat on the back, nothing. Like, and you know, obviously for foundation, you want your people to go out there and be doing shit that's gonna get attention.
Yeah.
And you know, just like.
I'm glad you had Chris put it in the Transworld video, because otherwise I think besides this, and it's cool too. Joel at Metro, he's always, like he says, down for the underground, and we kind of. It was clear that reaching out through Sinclair was never gonna actually become something, so we went more through Joel. Like, hey, we have this footage, it's all foundation. They gave him the boards, they're doing Secret Society, and we kind of backdoored through Joel into his Secret Society, because they were kind of happening, and he had emailed him, like asking him, like, hey, what's up with the Secret Society?
I wasn't even getting hit up for it.
And all this footage, this is just like some of the footage. There was a lot that like even had been sent to him already that just kind of sat, that hasn't made it in anything, where we're just like, I think it's.
So I'll tell you right now that
it's like kind of a,
the only thing I'd be bummed on about this, like if I was your team manager and you sent me that, the only thing I'd be bummed about is that you didn't call me to come out and film it myself. That's the only just me personally.
They never even put it out there, like never even said like any type of advice or any type of anything. Like there was no. It was just like,
were they
imagine working for a company that every day you went to work and then no one ever said anything. They're never like, hey, can you pick these up over here? Can you move it? Oh, good job on this. Or
dude, that'd be a dream job. Nobody talked to me.
Well, yeah, it's just like zero direction.
As long as I keep getting paid.
Like I was to the point where, hey, you tell me to do something, I'll fucking do it. You want me to go here and do this? I'll do that. You want me to go meet up with these people, do this? I'll do that. Like just nothing. It's like so mismanaged. It's like, what the fuck? And then like, not to mention.
Well, maybe that's why their video was called "What the Fuck."
Right, and then like at the time,
there were a couple where it was like he'd ask him a question, and the response would be like, "Yeah, for sure." It's like,
that's
which
it.
one? Like, should I this or that, or are you down for this? And it was just like the response was clear, like didn't read it, like cool, great job, like just cool, great job, and it's like.
You know, it's like at the time
did
too.
you watch?
Like,
I was a back to 180. Like
everything that I filmed and everything was just like me grinding my ass off all day to fucking make money, and then just driving down, filming a trick with like one filmer, like no hype game, no fucking sesh, nothing. Like you throw someone into an element where they're in front of a, say a contest skater skating by himself. Probably not going to do as good with 100,000 people in the crowd. You're gonna that energy, you know what I mean? Hypes you up. Just like a performer isn't going to perform as good alone in his garage, if he had a whole, a stadium arena full of people. You know what I mean? Like, being on a team, filming with the people, being a part of the energy is obviously going to make you step your game even more. You know what I mean? Like, you just think that.
But in with using that theory, the guy, let's just say the performer, the singer. If he's going to perform better in front of a crowd, the guys who make it, who are super famous and perform in front of hundreds of thousands of people, those are the dudes that perform the same.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? They perform the same, whether it's a garage with one person or it's a stadium.
Well, that's kind of like the point I'm trying to prove is I was out there trying to be on the grind without even that there. You know what I mean? And then like you look at a lot of people who've come up, like you watch their sponsor videos. It's like, oh, okay, someone's seen potential in that guy because like he got a lot better, even the way they dress, the way everything about it. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like for the production level that I was making sure that was being done on my end, that a little, you know what I mean? Like, just confusing to me.
Well, so I'm a little taken aback about that because, I don't know, I might be a different story, but if I was working with a guy, if I was flowing him stuff, I'd almost not want him out there working that hard in front of somebody else's camera, even though it's like the
team manager Mike Sinclair never filmed.
No, did he? They had a filmer though, right?
I don't think he gave a shit where the footage came from.
No, because because you moved in, it was what happened was originally we were filming for Corey Duffel's thing, and we got in touch with Sinclair because he was sending you shit, know, and we were sending him a bunch of footage that, like I said, go to the link below in the description. There'll be a bunch of just random footage that never went anywhere. I'll give you a link to it.
All right.
But so I think it transitioned from that when Duffel's video kind of fell through and things didn't work out with that. You were still with Sinclair, you know what I mean? And all the time it would be like, pretty much, do you have a filmer right now? And I remember for a little while you went back to Boston and we were like separate. I lived in Anaheim. We ended up back in the Central Valley again. And I remember him asking you like, get a filmer. That's when we met Alan. And I remember it was just more about like find a filmer and get footage and send clips, and I'll send you stuff.
Like totally how they manage that company. See, you would think.
Yeah, see, I'm trying to find every out for them. I'm trying to find every out.
So you would think that being a team manager, you would think that being a team manager, you would want to be concerned with having a main filmer, being concerned with all these things. Just up until maybe 4 years ago, they got that guy Don Liu or whatever his name is to be like their main filmer or whatever. Up until then, how they were doing it is just like, hey, every man for themselves, go out,
free for all,
film your part, get all your footage together. Oh, you didn't meet the quota, you didn't get your footage together, you lost some footage. Oh well, okay, you're cut next. They had like Dan Murphy on there.
I'm trying to make I'm trying to play the devil's advocate on every side, but I mean, if what you're saying, of course, because I can't say that it's true because I don't,
I just think someone who doesn't skate, if you're not actively involved in skating and your day-to-day life is you go home, you chill with your wife, that's it. How are you going to really manage a skate company to its full potential as a skater who's actually out there skating, being involved, knowing is the filmer there, are the tricks logged up on the
I think really it comes down to like there's this illusion we have that like we said that it's the 1% of the 1% making money. And like we have this illusion of like how much money Foundation, for example, has, when in reality I don't think any of them are really making any money, even the pros. You know what I mean? I don't think they have the time or the budget. I think they're probably spread too thin on what they are flowing people, and his flow list is probably way too long. And then on top of that, he's tired. And on top of that, he's like the dude probably that just drove the van all day or some shit, and he's responding to you from his BlackBerry.
But it's all how you manage it. It's only like that. Things are only like that because people let them get like that. If you manage something correctly, it doesn't have to be like that.
I think my advice, if there were any TMs or people that become TMs, is be aware of who's on your flow list and like what their ambitions are, and realize that like all this footage, like you said, Foundation, everything. It's like if he realizes a year into this that like, damn, this isn't going anywhere. Well, I got a year of footage that like needs to be seen, but it's like you can't just go to another company. You ditch that footage. Yeah. It's gone in the vault. Yeah. It's because it's all Foundation shit. So you're kind of just saying goodbye. So look at all this stuff.
That's why I always skated.
A lot of it was filmed like 2008, and we didn't have it finally come out till like years later. And that was like a last ditch effort. Like this should be seen at least. You know what I mean?
That's why I always skated in blue jeans and a white tee.
Oh yeah, and at the time, at the time too, he was always saying like, "Don't leak your footage. Don't leak your footage."
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, okay. Like
there was talk of having a part. It was depending on how much footage he got on how much of the video he'd have. Pretty much, kind of is how it. I think it got sent out to their whole crew, anyone Foundation. Film as much as you can. We're making a video. They wanted as much to come in as possible. And it was
I think when it's managed like that, you get one guy who might not know anything, and he's just looking through a bunch of stuff on a hard drive. He's just gonna hook his homies up, put their part in the video, yada yada yada. But like at the end of the day, it's like I'm not hurt on anything. It's just like it just makes me realize like, damn, like some people just mismanage things a lot. You know what I mean? Like.
Well,
and it's real too. There's skaters out there that are going to deal with this right now, and they're going to want to hear it real. Like if you're on flow, you're not sure about your company, maybe be careful if you rep it super hard that the footage goes nowhere, or maybe talk to them more and know exactly where you're at, or maybe find somewhere that's going to do what you want, because like they're not going to talk to you and tell you.
Like at the end of the day, if I could go back, I would just focus on my own shit. Exactly. Fuck anybody else or what is going to make them better. You know what I mean? Like it's always better just to focus on what's the best for you. And like,
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
I think it's just like every kid, they're like, oh, I want to be a pro skater and like be on a team and shit. And then like, and the more I like thought about it, I'm like, well, that's really not what I want. And it's like, it's more like I want more control over like the actual art of it. Like, I always wanted to be like in music when I was younger and shit. So I like always wanted to like skate videos because I'm like, oh, I could put it to music. I could do this. I could do that. Like, it wasn't just to like have a name on a board. You know what I mean? It's like, two different things,
and that's 100% respectable.
Yeah,
and that's why I say like we're kind of maybe the last. It's a rare breed.
I hope not.
I mean, I hope not either. I hope there's plenty of skaters out there who are into the art form of skateboarding, but I don't see it very often. Some of the younger generation that I just have contact with, obviously I don't touch it, everybody, but if the ones that I do have that contact with, it's like. They see things so much differently than we did and still do. And obviously we're older, we have more knowledge and everything, but just looking back to my mindset as a young skater, it's completely different.
Yeah. I mean, I think skating's still dope, just as dope as it's ever been. I think things don't ever really change. It's just like little things about it are different. You know what I mean?
It's the culture.
And the culture is a little different. I think you got like little bit more posers out there and stuff, just because it's like the cool thing.
Yeah.
But you have diehard skaters now just as much as you did ever. You know what I mean?
Well, because when skateboarding is viewed as like a sport, then obviously you're going to have way more people like, oh, Johnny, I bought you a skateboard for your birthday.
Yeah.
Versus, I don't know about you guys, but me, I had to literally like beg and argue with my mom because she's like,
lunch money.
Skateboarding's too dangerous. You're not allowed to do it. And I'm like, Dad, I want to fucking skate. Like, no, you don't understand. Like, I get to skate my friends' boards at school when you're not around, and it's amazing. You need to buy me one of these. I mean, finally she did, but it was like, it wasn't she was like, no, if I buy you a skateboard, you're gonna start doing drugs too. That's how the parents looked at it. We're like, oh, well, well, there goes his life. Oh, he's a skateboarder now. Versus now, it's like everybody has a skateboard. Like kids that are skating and ripping now, like they never remember a time without a skateboard in their house. Yeah, they're just like, there's always a board in my garage.
It's like having a basketball or football laying around.
Exactly. Always a skateboard in my garage. Like I just would skate it one day. All right, so here we go. I don't think we actually watched your the landing of your ender here.
And I went back like one more time, and I got close. And then I was going to come back again and get a better one. But I fucking fucked my knee up so bad at Epic Skate Park. Some kid fell off his board and it shot at me. And I just jumped. For some weird reason, I lifted my leg weird. And my knee popped out of place just from jumping over a skateboard.
And then you landed on it.
And then I threw my leg. It popped out and I straightened it. And it like popped back in. But it tore the cartilage so it wasn't like in right. Fuck. And it just grinded it all up in there. It fucked it all up. Out of everything to get hurt on, it's crazy. Right?
But back then we didn't stretch, we didn't care, we did, you know what I mean?
Well, there's not a whole lot you can do to stretch your knee ligaments out.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot you can do for that. That's just one of those wrong time, wrong place, just shit,
Yeah.
True.
But your knee's fine now, right?
Oh, I have no complaints with my knee.
Maybe the universe was just telling you that you had like a lesson to learn.
I think it just made me like mentally stronger.
You got to sit on your ass for 2 years to make sure that you're mentally strong enough to be able to skate all the way up into your 40s.
I believe that.
You know what I mean? Maybe
I believe that. That's how I look at it.
And maybe if you wouldn't have hurt your knee and been laid up for those 2 years, maybe you would have pushed yourself to a point of injuring yourself permanently, trying something bigger and bigger and bigger until you know what I mean, like broke a femur or something, you know what I mean? Something so gnarly that you just like could never skate again. And that knee was just like a little blessing because it was like, hey, calm down. Yeah. Relax just a little bit.
Maybe. I honestly think I was just smoking too much weed, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think it like kind of like dries you out a little bit.
Yeah, as dumb as that senses.
As dumb as that sounds, yeah, just kind of like you got like juices in your knee and your ligaments and just kind of.
Oh, you mean internally, like physically dries
you out? That's what I think. Because like when I look back on all that, I was like kind of smoking heavy through all of that, and then like the tricks were like a little harder, like physically harder. Felt like it took it like it was like hard to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But now that I don't really smoke that much, it's like like I could do that easier.
Well, it could have a lot to do with your diet too.
That too.
Yeah, I think it also has to do with like pot, like anything else. It affects.
I don't think it was the weed. I think it's the smoke.
Oh, the actual inhalation of smoke.
Yeah, like everyone's body's affected like differently.
Yeah, because at that time, like literally, like I don't know why, but like homies would come through. It would be not a big deal to smoke 5 blunts in a day.
Yeah,
that's like not good. No. You can't be smoking 5 blunts in a day.
But it's like you don't smoke cigarettes at all. Whereas there's pro skaters who are doing that and smoking cigarettes.
And smoking
all day,
a pack a day,
yeah.
And a 12-pack.
A lot of them end up getting hurt.
You mentioned a 12-pack. It's just like alcohol. Like I said with the pot, some people can drink and you show up and they're already a 12-pack in. You can't even really tell. And one of the homies you're with is 3 in, and he's like
sloshed,
retarded,
throwing up and shit.
Pardon my French.
A little bit of
politically
alcohol,
correct, Adam.
A little bit of alcohol, a little bit of smoking. It's cool, but I think like if you're trying to be like push your body as hard as you can, it's like it might eventually be like it's like running with a backpack full of bricks. It's like you can do it, but it's just like take it off. It's like
well, for you especially with the injuries that you've gone through, I would try to stay away from anything that would be like inflammatory.
Exactly.
Anything that might cause internal swelling of any joints or anything. I would like run the fucking other way.
No, for real.
Away from that. So I don't blame you for doing the lifestyle that you do, living the way you do. It's
really just, especially every time I talk to you, it's never like, I read this, so I decided this, and it's more like you're in tune, like, with your body, and you're just kind of reacting to, like, what feels better, and, like, I stopped doing this because I noticed I felt this way, so I did this. When I was younger,
my mom raised me, I didn't even know this, but until, like, later, she raised me vegetarian, like, the first 5 years of my life.
Oh, really?
Only fed me fresh veggies, and that's it. That's all I lived off of, and, like, I think it helped me, like, be healthy, like a healthy human being.
Well,
like,
it's a base, that healthy base.
Like, I would never eat anything out of a can, or I would just be eating, like, tomatoes, and I would eat raw lemons all the time, and just, like, that's all I ate, oranges as a kid and shit. So I just think, like, that's, like, the best, like, just getting raw shit from the earth.
You have, like, a super good base foundation of just health.
Yeah. When I have my kid, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to feed him or her, like, just the best raw shit. I'm not gonna buy any of the baby formula crap or like the Gerber crap.
My most recent son, he hasn't had any anything like really unnatural.
Yeah,
like no baby food.
Yeah,
he hasn't had.
I think it's just like dog food. They just like kind of throw everything in a can, throw some preservatives in there, like, oh, it's baby food.
Well, even the ones that are like the veggie stuff, it's like they may not. You don't know what they're using.
Yeah,
and I've heard like there's been a bunch of stories where like. A baby food company, I don't know if it's Gerber or whatever, but had to like recall, because they like found like chunks of plastic or something.
It's like what they do back in the day, you go to the farm, you get some corn, you eat the goddamn corn, you know what I mean? You get some straw, what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean? That makes the most sense to me. Like,
yeah, and it's not that hard to make some fresh stuff for your kids.
And it's not hard to find, especially these days. It's becoming trendy, so you can find it more. To find something where the ingredients say corn.
Yeah, or farmers markets.
You know what I mean? And it's $1 more than the one where it's like it looks the same and it's supposed to be corn.
Sometimes it's not even
fructose corn syrup. That.
Nowadays, it's not even $1 more.
Yeah.
Nowadays, companies are hip with it, so they're like, dude, people
produce
want this, they're
going
to buy it.
I'll fill up my whole grocery cart full of produce. Don't even notice it.
Well, you don't eat meat, so it should all be produce. Right?
Yeah. I'll literally go grab things I don't even know what they are. Grab all those root things, all these crazy roots like yucca root and horseradish. I won't even know. I'll just throw it all in a blender and it tastes like shit. I don't care. I just fucking drink it.
You don't even know what it is?
a bunch of turmeric, because I'll eat just fucking raw turmeric and shit. Fucking good.
Hey, I thought of something. Sponsors. You didn't mention hooligans.
Oh, yeah. Hooligan Skate Shop. Daddy Longlegs.
That was like the actual birth of Go to Sleep.
That was the skate.
He was like the older guy of the group. He had like a cool like car, and like his parents had some money, and he had a cool little skate shop, and he was rad, fucking good, super good. One of the best.
So
skaters.
Much pop. Like,
one of the best skaters, hands down. Like, I don't.
Amazing.
No matter
pop.
who you compare him to, like that fool just had like a natural ability. Like
he was ahead of his time. He was doing like the sex change, late 180, like flips, circus tricks, but like ground, just in flat ground sessions with us, like for fun.
Yeah. He was like a Chris Haslam,
Instagram
kinda.
now, like easy for him.
He definitely, like, in front of the camera would get like a little choked up, but like in real life, just seeing him skate naturally, like
it's crazy.
Like be like, oh, switch laser heel flip, boom, done. It's like, oh fuck, switch back 360 kickflip on flat. He had those. It's like, what the fuck, like. Who the hell had that many years ago? It's like, what the hell?
Who has that now?
Yeah, but he had a skate shop, Hooligans, and he was hooking it up with boards and shit back in the day.
We made a video. It was 2002.
Yeah, the Hooligans video.
I just looked at the tickets. So that was kind of what it was. It was the Zero video premiere, and we did a premiere for like this little shot video that was Hooligans, and me and Schuyler.
That video is still good to this day too.
And that was 2002. And then that was kind of like everyone that did that was just like extra footage from other projects thrown into like, let's just put a video before the Zero video because we have this theater and why not?
People loved it.
Yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that on your
so that was like
episode.
The birth, and he was the one that like I remember when you were like, let's make a video, and like we were all kind of talking about it, and I remember. It was like the day you showed up with the VX was like the day it was real. I remember one day he rolled up to the skate park and he had the VX in his hand, and it was like I knew you were serious. So
it's
I was
on.
Like, this dude's for real. Like we're making a video.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Like the look in his eye, like I got the VX.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's on, motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah, no time for slacking.
All right. So we've talked about pretty much. Man, your footage is incredible. I'm a little taken aback. How you're not more than higher up in the ranks than you are, because I feel like your skating is on par, if not better, than most pro videos that I watch. And this all happened years ago. And to hear that you feel more healthy and that you've actually captured some of your best footage.
Yeah. Hey, there's any companies out there that want to fuck with some footage, I got shit lined up right now.
Okay, so you can find him on Instagram, Young Schuyler, right?
Yep.
Just Young Schuyler, and it's Schuyler is SCHUYLER. Hit him up because you need to be going somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I talked about this with Daniel Miranda last week too, about how some guys are just blessed with certain abilities that other people will never be able to attain. You know, like there was one guy that we talked about, Jose, who had he had that special flick, you know, the tray flip where you could, you know, the stanky leg, and his nollie flips were literally like, And I was explaining that you could make skateboarding my full-time job, and I could skate for 20 years and never be able to recreate that steez on a, you know what I mean, on a regular basis. And you seem to have the ability to float. So even with like your flat ground tricks, your ledge tricks, everything, even though you have kind of like a Hesh, like hand touch style, power slide style, it's very float. Everything floats. You kind of float in and float out, and you're just always kind of floating, and it's beautiful to watch. And I think that if you, I don't even know what you need to do, because it sounded like you were doing all the right things to get the attention from the company that you were with. I think maybe you were just with the wrong company. So hopefully you're going to put something out soon.
Yeah, I'm working on something. As long as I don't keep getting hurt, man. I was like making super good progress filming with Austin and Jerome, and then I was skating like this like 9 stair or something. I landed in my fucking knee. I shouldn't say that. My knee bent backwards. Scary, sketchy.
But you're okay?
It took like a legit 3.5-4 months.
What knee was it?
My left knee, my other knee.
Yeah.
Dude, the scariest. I've been jumping off stairs for a long time. Never happened. I think I couldn't see the ground. It was nighttime. I landed. It didn't, but it felt like my knee went all the way backwards, all the way, like all the way. And then like I looked down and like I could move it. It swelled up. It took like 3 or 4 months to get back from that. And then you know, like once you start skating, it's like, oh, you can't just go skate a 10 stair. It's like you're skating a 3 stair, then a 5 stair, then like I kind of just barely got back, but I like fakey frontside flipped this gap, filming with Jerome, and like if I just don't get hurt, I could film a part pretty quick. I just keep getting little setbacks, but as far as like mentally and physically, like I for sure have another part under my belt, if not a few under my belt, coming out for the rest of my life for sure.
Yeah, that
are gonna be better than anything I've done. Like I'm not gonna put it out unless it is better than what I've done.
That's confidence.
Yeah,
because what you've put out is pretty fucking dope already.
No, we're gonna.
There's a lot too that I've seen of this guy that's like never like.
I actually got a lot more tricks than I've actually filmed.
Types of tricks that I've never seen come out that you've done, like hand roll tricks, like nollie heel flip board slides on like 6+ stair handrails. I've seen like some really tech like nollie flip in tricks, flip out tricks from like multiple grinds and slides. Well, like I
feel like the world definitely needs to experience more of you.
He's more about the big shit though. Like he'd rather film like a trick over something big than like the most tech dream trick.
I just like the way like when you do something like that and then you put it to music, I just feel like it's more like of an impact. It just makes you feel some type of way more. You know what I mean? Like I like that. You know.
Do you feel threatened at all by Chris Jocelyn?
No, I don't. I think it's sick. I don't,
because he's
I think inspired.
He's the other Hucker. He's the other Hucker in the.
No, he's definitely like
the Hucker.
He's definitely the best in the world for sure. One of the when it comes to that for sure. I would love to be fucking skating with those guys.
Did you guys watch his Etnies part?
Yeah. I watched the rough of it too.
It's really good. The rough? I didn't watch the rough. That fakey heel he did, and a few other ones. Was just that fakey heel stands out to me. That's what I remember. Yeah. It's like, damn, the fakey heel was.
So good.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah.
So do you see? So he's obviously like the top notch on the bar of Huckers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like,
definitely.
If you want to be the best, like that's what you're going to have to.
Yeah.
So, do you, all the spots that he skates, I could see you throwing a trick down.
I would love to be in a position where I was out filming with those dudes. Because I think that makes a big difference. Like even for him, like, you know, you got the filmer, you got the homies, you know when you make it, you're getting the photo for the mag. Like that shit does help you mentally.
And so what's kept you away from SoCal? because obviously that's the path that most of the guys that we see today, the majority of the pros that you see in the mags and whatever, have taken that route where they're like, yeah, I just grabbed my backpack and I just fucking.
To be honest, like in the beginning, for like a while ago, I was doing really good filming with Alan in Sacramento, and I was loving it. It seemed like that was the place to be. Miles was popping up, Mika was popping up, Blue was popping up. I was right there with him filming all the time. Mm-hmm. So it just seemed like, oh, this is where I'm meant to be. Like, this is good. I'm getting footage. Like,
but you didn't ride for the same companies that they did.
No, at the time, I don't think any of them were sponsored other than like a board shop or something.
Blue was getting hooked up by Workshop.
Just like Flow. Like
they were all getting, I think, organic.
Like, no one was really like going big yet, but I could just feel the energy. Like I knew something was going to come from this area.
It was kind of the FOFA crew. Yeah, it was kind of just everything connected with that was so rad.
And it turned out to be
around that. It was rad.
And it turned out to be true. You know, Blue got hooked up, Mika got hooked up, Miles got hooked up, and like I was skating with those dudes every day. So I thought, you know, like for sure my time's coming. You know what I mean? Like I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, that's how I felt. You know what I mean? Okay. And
big part of it's your injury, man.
And then like right at the peak where I was like, okay, I'm on my shit. I hurt my knee. And I've always healed normally. And then after like 3 months, I'm like, this is not going to heal. And then I got insurance. And I got surgery because a guy convinced me it'd be okay. It was about 8 months even after that I realized this is not right. And then it was another year on the waiting list. And then another year for it to heal. And then let's be real, like even after a year when I could skate, it was like when I board slid the flat bar for the first time, I was like, ooh, that was sketch.
Another life lesson, you are your best. If you feel something's wrong, don't let a doctor tell you nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
If you can feel that it's wrong, because the dude was just trying to tell him everything's fine. He didn't send him into physical therapy because he knew it wouldn't get better. And he knew a physical therapist would see that it was not.
They're trying to gear me up for a knee replacement. That's what they gear you up for. They ruin your foundation. They take the part out. Oh, you got full range of motion now. See, it's fine. You complain. Oh, well, now it's ruined. You need a knee replacement. That's what they do. You know what I mean? Or they get you on pills. But like, so, you know, like a substantial amount of time went by just from me healing, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was building up kind of what I do to make money and kind of on my hustle game and shit. And that was all going smooth. And then like, once I kind of got back into skating, you know, I was more concerned with just getting out and filming rather than making like a big life change, a big life move and everything. And then around a little bit longer after that, me and the girl I was with her for like 6 years, you know, like, me and her broke up, and that was kind of like mentally, like a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of was like not sure what route I wanted to take, what I wanted to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I kind of just focused more on like building up like my empire, I guess you could call it, like how I make money and stuff. That way, I'd just be like secure. With that, you know, especially after seeing pro skaters that couldn't afford cars or certain things like that. It's like, oh, I gotta focus on having a good money make, you know, and then. I got married now. I'm with like a super cool chick, super cool. And then like I'm definitely like that is something that will probably happen very soon. Like I definitely I'm gonna do RV life, man. I'm gonna get a freaking sick RV, like a diesel pusher,
and just mob around,
drive down there, and keep my house here, but have a movable house down there and try to play both ends of the field.
Yeah, because unfortunately, that's this day and age, even with the Instagram culture and the access to information. So there's two, in my opinion, like mainstream ways to get yourself noticed, and that's posting three clips a day on Instagram, just literally every single day. Well, I mean, at your level, like you know, if you go out and get like 3 good tricks, even if they're at the skate park, but it's the consistency, it's the posting 2 to 3 times a day, every single day, and the followers grow, and then as your followers grow, then the companies come. That's one way, and then the other way is to move to SoCal and just get in the middle of one of those groups and just start skating the spots that they're skating and the parks that they're skating. And then they're going to be like, oh, damn,
like, I think who's
that guy?
Like, I think right now, like my main focus is like, it's just like picking tricks and checking them off the list. Like, even if no one sees it, like I've been sitting on like that kickflip Rayleighs and a few things that no one's seen. And like, it doesn't bug me. I'm like, and I don't care if like,
well, those tricks are timeless.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't care if like, I get 100 likes or I get no likes. It's like more of like a personal thing at this time. Like I want to know when I die that I did this, and I did everything I wanted And like that to me is more valuable than like, oh, am I getting hooked up? Like I feel like almost like cheap trying to throw myself out there so much just to get like
and that's the thing.
Like
there's people out there where
like,
the company has to keep motivating them, keeping people motivated, you know. And then there's people that are self-motivated. And I think you're too self-indulgent to really be too successful in that way, because it's like you said, you feel satisfied that you did the trick. Whereas I think with a lot of people, that's just step one. And it's like, okay, now where does it go? And I think for a little while, the only times I've even seen you stress, and because I've known you really well for a long time, and that he's even been trying to leverage, is like we just talked about for a minute, because you'd love to be in those sessions with those guys. It's more about like the sessions and about like, you know, than it is about, I want my name on a board, I'm going to be sponsored, I'm going to make
like
money.
When I would watch the videos
probably
back in the
rather
day,
like get no money and no boards and just be able to like get thrown in a van with people and like, you know what I mean, have his footage go somewhere type of thing.
That was like the first time too. I kind of got like, it kind of like shook me mentally. Is like the first time I skated, like I said, with the foundation guys and stuff, and then I seen like how it was, and then like I mean, I was going so ham on this double set. I was trying to half cab flip it. My pants tore, and I was like rolling up to it, holding my pants up, like the whole crotch was blown out, and then I snapped my board, and then Duffel gave me his board, and then I snapped his board, and I just kept going. There's blood everywhere, and like I thought, like, yeah, I'm killing it. Like you're supposed to skate hard with these guys. They're fucking legends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think they all looked at me like, who the fuck's this weirdo?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like oh, like, damn, it's not how I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I thought it would be way different. You know, like. But.
That's a bummer to hear, but I wouldn't give up. I think that you could find a company that fits with your style, with your madness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure. Hopefully, after watching, maybe a team manager will watch this and give your personality a listen, because obviously your skating speaks for itself. So
yeah, shit. I swear, if they just gave me like a little, like even 30-second little, or even a part, I'll make a part. Like if someone right now was like, bro, I'll give you a chance. You can make a part. I'll make them a sick part. I'll make sure.
Now, what if they came to you? What if they came to you and said, "We want you to join our crew. Like your filmer is cool, but we have a filmer and we want to make a video all in the same, you know, behind the same." Are you're cool? You'd be cool with that?
The dream, really, for a skater.
That would be.
Well, I'm just making sure, because some skaters are like, dude, I only film with this guy.
Or like
this
how
is the guy.
Kirchardy is like very reclusive.
Yeah, like
intentionally.
Yeah, like I only film with this guy, you know. And then I know a few other big name pros who are like, if there's a big crowd, I don't really skate, or I don't really skate with people I don't know.
No, I would be down. Like that's like my favorite thing as a kid is like skate around town, and all of a sudden you run into so and so, and you're like, oh yeah, like we're skating together.
Where you headed? Let's go.
Yeah, like and then like you're sessioning. Like me and him were just skating a flat bar the other day. He's like, try this. I'm like, okay, you try that.
Me
like,
too. That's my
before
favorite.
You knew it, I was doing like switch Smith grinds on the flat bar. I'm like, I never tried that before. It's like that to me is like what's sick. So like if someone did come to me like, yo, we want you to be on the team, film, that's tight. Like that's what that like he's saying is more important to me. Like the energy, the vibe, landing the tricks is more important to me than like the recognition. Like I don't care if everyone hates me. I don't care if 2 people love me. I don't care. Like it's more of like I want to just be on my board, land the trick, go home, chill with my girl, and be like, yeah, I did that. Like, did that shit, you know?
I feel it. Is there a company out there that would be like a dream sponsor? I mean, I know you said you were hella down for Foundation, but if they're off the table,
like obviously like anything to do with Reynolds, like Baker, Death Wish.
Like Reynolds fan?
Just because I think they keep it the most OG, like what I'm saying. Like you can tell they're all homies. You can tell that in the videos they do have like a certain vibe together. You know,
they don't backburner their people at all. Which,
they're like loyal.
If someone is even remotely like involved, then like they're front. Even like look at Terry Kennedy back in like Baker 2G doing like the sloppiest blunt on a ledge, but it was like he's in there. He's the like. If he doesn't even worthy of being shown, if he even gets close to a part, we'll slow-mo it and stretch it out to 2 minutes. You know what I mean? Like repping their guys.
That's the type of shit. That's the type of things I think are cool. Yeah, like that's what skating should be like.
It makes feel more like it feels more like homies. Like that's why we all ended up how we are. You see those videos and it just seems like that's what we were trying to encapsulate when we go to sleep. Like, we're gonna go make these moments as a crew, and like I think the only reason anyone even like we would try to get sponsored after Go to Sleep is to recreate that, because our crew kind of like splintered off, and it's like so.
Well, that happens with adulthood.
Yeah.
When we all become adults,
all got to pay rent somehow.
All right, so we've pretty much covered just about everything. Let's see. We said we're working on a new part, right? Do we have a guesstimation of
I have no idea. I know Jerome and Austin are gonna put out a video. They'll probably put out a video before I finish a part with them. But if they'll keep filming with me, I'll keep filming, and then
because we're all dependent on your health and making sure you stay healthy. And
I mean, I really don't foresee getting hurt. I don't think anyone foresees getting hurt. But
I hope not. That'd be dumb.
Shoot, if I hadn't got hurt
in
I
3
think
days exactly.
I think I'm gonna roll my ankle in July, so I'm not gonna be able to film anything in July
on the 14th.
Yeah, if I hadn't got hurt with him a few months back, like I was saying, I probably would have almost a part together. So if I don't get it out when they make their video, I'm sure not too long after I'll have a whole project under my belt.
Sick. All right. Well, definitely. You guys are always welcome to come back when that drops.
Hell yeah.
Let me know, and we'll make sure we go over that one.
Yeah.
Make sure you get me the lost hidden part that no one's seen yet, so we can put the link in the description and have a little preview or a premiere or whatever. All right. So if you want to contact Mr. Young Schuyler or Adam Wersky, Instagram Young Schuyler, and then the super long a fraction of the sum, right, with underscores in between for Adam Wersky.
You'll never find me. You're gonna hate it.
You'll never find him.
Yeah.
Well, you could go to one of your last episode or the description of this episode. I'll put a little link so that you can find him if you want.
I'm just start telling people hashtag Baby Wersky.
Baby Wersky. I do like all your funny little.
You'll find me. There's no one else.
Funny little Photoshop of your daughter. That's pretty funny. All right, so I guess we're gonna wrap it up, right? Are we all done? We all done? Everybody done? Okay. Yeah. So if you want to find us, we have been About That Ender on. You can find it on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes. Make sure you subscribe, like, follow, comment, tell us how we're doing, and whatnot. I've been your host, Keith, Mr. Audio Wizard, Cameron Baptiste, and we're out.